Breathe in, out. In, out. In, out. I want you to hold the side of your arms this way. Show yourself some love. Hug yourself. Now close your eyes and feel yourself hugging. We'll have to compensate on that. Hug. Close your eyes. Continue rubbing the side of your arms. Now follow my instructions. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in and out. Now as you're still rubbing the sides of your arms, I need you to set intentions for this session in your heart. We do not have to hear it, but take 20 seconds to set intentions for this session. Close your eyes, breathe in, set the intention, breathe out. I want you to slowly open your eyes, then slowly sit down. Sit down. Hands on your lap. Hands on your laps. Now breathe in, then breathe out through your mouth while saying let's do it together. Breathe in. When I say breathe out, I need to hear it. Breathe in, breathe out. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shazman. A round of applause, please. How do you feel? You feel better, right? Thank you. If you feel better, please tumpigie makofi. Niambie story. Najua leo sisi kwa story, lakini niambie story. I came here having tried my Sunday best, and I said I want to shine on that stage. Unfortunately, the rain had its own ideas, so nikanyeshewa. But because Shaz amenisaidia namna ku breathe, I'm feeling okay. And I said, all I have is to deliver this talk to you. It doesn't matter. So that's called coping mechanism. So kindly find a way of coping with your stress. When you wake up, you have good intentions, you have dreams to achieve for that day. Thank you very much. Now let's get deeper into the perspectives of this conversation. Sheila and Shaz, the coastal strip, young people are laden with challenges. Wako na masaibu kibao sana. Na masaibu mengi haya, watu wengi husema yanachangia katika maswala ya afya ya kiakili. Labda pengine nianze na Sheila. How can you describe the status of mental health for the coastal youth?
Good afternoon. So I'll start with something very simple. Let's talk about belief systems. Belief systems form majority of how we run our lives, how we think, how we act, or rather how we behave. And due to that belief system, it of course shapes the way that our lives become. Yesterday, at one of the sessions, I had Dr. Nafisa mention something about youth being rowdy, about youth being they're not mature as such, and for that reason, due to that belief system, a lot of people are not giving youth opportunities. Okay? So when you're seated there as a young person, looking for space, trying to look for a place to fit in, the first thing that you're met with is a belief system that because you're young, then you cannot be able to deliver. Yeah? And unfortunately, such a belief system shapes even the coastal society in general, meaning that the opportunities that you're meant to have, you don't have. And owing to that, then source of income goes down. Now you're idle. Now you're wondering what to do with yourself. How do you think that affects your mental well-being? Yeah.
Thank you very much. Unaona mtaalamu amejibu swali kwa kutuuliza swali hapo mwisho, ambapo ni swali hilo ni inaitwa ile homework tulifanye. Tukirudi kwa dadangu Shaz, mara nyingi katika community zetu, especially in the coastal areas, when you talk about mental health, when you talk about probably depression or trauma or stress, ukisema labda someone is suffering from mental health, watu wanasema hapana, huyo amepagawa, ni mashetani, ama huyo alilaaniwa, ama huyo ni mizuka na vitu kama hivyo. What is your take about that?
The most common used terminology is it's all in the head.
It's all in the head.
It's all in the head. But I don't know why when I have malaria or when I have a cough or when I have flu, I'm not told it's all in your nose, it's all in your bloodstream, or it's all on your leg because you hurt your leg. We are treating the mind as a separate entity that cannot be separated from the body, soul, and the spirit. We have the body, the soul, and the spirit. Then we have the mind, and we cannot separate it from the body. So I don't know why we are then treating the mind, the brain, as a different thing that cannot be affected. When we say mental health, it's the same as saying physical health, but then this is just health that is affecting the mental state of a human being. So I've even gotten remarks about counseling not being a real career, about mental health being, let me quote it, ya kujitakia. And I really like that Sheila pointed out that we are taking youths unserious. There's something that I noticed. We are not letting people act their age. When I say that, we have very young minds that are forced to mature early because they have to uptake responsibilities. But then these same mature minds are not taken seriously professionally. There's a saying where, let me talk as a woman. Women are told that we can multitask, but we are praised for multitasking only when it is household. When we want to handle the house and profession at the same time, suddenly we can't multitask. So how is it, it's too contradictory. Yeah, I think that's my take on.
Thank you, Shaz. This is to mean that real stress, trauma, depression, ill mental health is a sickness that needs attention, just like any other sickness. Malaria needs attention.
Yes.
Diarrhea needs attention.
Yes.
Pneumonia needs attention, and so is mental health. If someone is depressed, they need specialized attention. Thank you very much. When we talk about key challenges anywhere in the world, there are concepts that are said to be push or pulls. What can we say, Sheila, that are some of the biggest pushes that affect young people to get into ill mental health, be it stress, be it compounded stress, be it trauma and depression, to an extent that they want to take their own lives? What are these push factors? What are these issues that predispose them to get into these undeserved situations?
I'll talk about an aspect of technology that we are not very prepared for. So where do I start? You are a Gen Z or a millennial. that has been raised by somebody from Gen X going upwards to baby boomers and the silent generation. These are people that have not interacted with technology. These are people that were told that education is the key. And for sure, education was the key for them. But now with the changing times, it seems like everything is locked and the key has been thrown to the sea. How are you supposed to navigate that? The changes in, you've spent time, you've educated yourself, you're a student, and now you're out in this world of today, and the world is a gig economy kind of world. Now you're meant to either be self-employed because there are no jobs. That's
basically, Sheila, we are talking about uncertainties.
Yes.
As part of the challenges predisposing young people to ill mental health. Thank you very much.
Perfect. The second thing that you're going to add that is childhood trauma. Childhood trauma is what are the things that happened in your childhood that affect you growing up. Now, if you've not dealt with childhood trauma, for instance, there could be fights. You grew up when your parents were fighting and dealing with issues of separation. And now you are left alone and you don't know how to navigate that. Nobody really looked at your well-being. Your parents fought against each other. They made a decision. They separated or whatever. But for you, nobody looked at you and really cared about what was going on with the child. So now when you become an adult, you do not know why you have abandonment issues. You have neglect issues. Where when you get actually into toxic relationships because this person gives you attention that you craved as a child.
Thank you very much. One of my closest friends said, when people say my love language is, actually they are postulating what they missed when they were children. If you say my love language is money, it means, my friend, ulisota kama mimi, hauko unapata pesa. When we say my love language is care, hugs, it means you missed them. Yes. Otherwise, you wouldn't be pressurizing someone to give them to you. Kama ulishiba na mahagi ya baba na mama, then you wouldn't be. Yes, so thank you. In some context, they call it advanced childhood experiences. Yes. Okay. Yes. Any more point on that?
I'm going to let Shazmin.
Okay, Shaz.
On the last point you stated, the love languages. And that is why when somebody does not love you in your love language, you'll forever feel unloved. You'll forever feel unloved. Yeah. This is a situation where there's a couple and you could be trying your all. You could be putting everything out there, but still have this notion of, why is it that I'm doing everything for this person, but I still do not get the same love? Don't they love me? They do love you, but they do not feel that love because you're not speaking it in their language. If I spoke German and you didn't understand it and we did not have a translator, there's no way you'd understand me. Yeah. And that is the same thing that happens here. And in childhood, we find that children are not treated as humans. You're a child. What are you stressed about? You're a child, you shouldn't be thinking about this.
Ukona stress gani na wewe haununui chakula?
Kabisa.
Ukona stress gani na haulipi school fees?
Yes. You're a child, what love needs do you have? And we're too quick to tell children, you don't even have a family. Forgetting that you are the family. You, the father, the mother, you are the family. They don't need to have spouses to call those spouses and children family. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Shaz and Sheila. I don't know whether they are hearing. Pengine wanasikia lakini hawajasikia. Mmeambiwa mnaongea Kijerumani ndugu. Na si eti mnaongea Kijerumani cha Netherlands na Germany. Mnaongea lugha ambayo kwamba mwenzao haelewi. Ivunje. Sema unaugua nini? Usitake kitu ambacho kwamba mwenzako haujamueleza. Mwambie uko kwetu nyumbani nilikuwa usipei pesa. Nahitaji pesa kwako. Ama uko nyumbani nilikuwa sijapigwa busu. Kwa hivyo naomba lifanye liwe zaidi kiasi. Ama mimi sijazoea kupewa hug na naona wenzangu wakupewa mahug. Naomba na mimi pia unipatie. Kwa hivyo if you don't make them understand what you lack and for what reason, then they may never give it to you na unadhani labda hawakupendi. Asante sana. This conversation talking about adults, maybe parents, delving into conflicts of their own without giving consideration to the children. But beyond that, also looking at labda ni msichana, I'm sorry for using this particular example. Msichana labda amedhulumiwa, amenajisiwa ama forever, na watu wanaenda kwa kangaroo courts, wanalipana, but huyu msichana ama awe mvulana, because even young boys are sodomized, hakuna mtu anaangalia labda anajihisi vipi. And even when people take care of these young people, watampeleka labda akadungwe sindano, angaliwe kama na mimba, and that's it. Lakini hakuna psychosocial therapy. Na huyu msichana ama mvulana ataishi na ile dhulma kwenye moyo wake mpaka aingie kwenye ndoa yake, then things happen huko. Sasa, so looking at institutions, Swahili Pot Hub, Samba Sports, families, what are the responsibilities of institutions from the family level kuhakikisha kwamba young people are raised to thrive, not to survive?
Wonderful question, because this question is more of a solution focused question. So tuanze na, first of all, there are programs where mentorship happens on a one-on-one level, but then on a group level. Because what happens is, in group therapy, you're able to realize that you're not alone. So when you come and talk about these issues, you're able to have peers or people that can be able to understand kile pia wao wamepitia is the same thing yenye umepitia. But beyond that, kuna zile vitu personal zenye ziko very specific to you as a person, things like sexual abuse, whatever the gender. Because when you're looking at sexual abuse, one of the greatest impacts of sexual abuse is even sexuality. Issues with sexuality, issues with relationships with the opposite gender or the same gender. So organizations like Swahili Pot have been able to leverage on that and been able to see that there is a need where they have mentorship groups on a group level, and they also have personal one-on-one mentorship in different programs that enable your children to be in safe hands and to be in a safe environment. And so if you're parents and you're here, kindly plug them in. And if you're a young person and you're here, plug in, find out, because it is for your own good. Yeah.
Asante sana. Kwenye nimetoka kabla ninyeshewe nikija hapa, ilikuwa ni graduation na watoto, and we had a conversation with parents, na tukaambia the first school for any child is home. So ni wewe ndio utamtengeneza mtoto wako. Walimu wanaenda kumfundisha biology, maths na geography, lakini tabia, feelings, ni wewe ndio unaenda kumtayarisha. Kwa hivyo as families, just like Sheila says, plug in your children. When a child is seen running berserk in the streets, kuna kitu wewe mzazi labda haujafanya. Kwa hivyo hilo jukumu linarudi kwako. Kama Swahili Pot inafanya lake, Samba Sports anafanya lao, lakini wewe mzazi ufanyi chako, then it means all this good ikifika nyumbani inakuwa drained, kwa sababu unamregelea pale kumuita shetani, jini, sijui mpumbavu, ana majina mengine ambayo kwamba si mazuri. Sasa Shaz, nikirudi kwako, we are living in a world where young people are increasingly connected digitally, but emotionally so alone and lonely. What's happening, and what can we do to make it better?
We are seeking instant gratification. That instant, when you post and get a like, when you get a comment, it's so instant. And as we are using the digital spaces, we forget that there is a life to live. We have a life to show, but never a life to live. We are living in the reels, forgetting that this life is a reality on its own. And that is why I talk a lot about mindfulness. And part of mindfulness is also digital mindfulness. Technology came to our benefit, but only if we use it to benefit ourselves. One part of it is, are you aware of what you want from that particular technology? Is it information that you are seeking? Is it information that you're giving? Are you the feeder? Are you the taker? If you're the feeder, what information are you feeding in technology? If you are consuming technology feeds, what digital spaces are you actually engaged in? Yeah, it is okay to have boundaries everywhere, even in the digital space. And I think that is where peer pressure now comes in. Peer pressure is now, I see Sheila posting something. It might be not something I do. Maybe she didn't even do it. She took it from another person, posted it. And I'm trying to compare myself with so and so and so and so. And I come back to now childhood here with the digital use. Parents here. How many have seen or done? It's okay to acknowledge mistakes. When you have 2, 3, 4 kids, there's that sibling comparison. Your sister's better than you. Why did you not get this like your sister? So it starts there. A child comparing themselves with the siblings. Then we go to school. A teacher starts comparing one student to the other. God forbid you have a sibling in the same school. Your brother got this. Why are you not getting the same? And we fail to understand that siblings are but individuals of their own. You do not carry your mother on your back. You do not carry your father, your siblings on your back. So you should treat them as parents, as teachers, as different individuals. Then we come to work, and then comparison comes again. So why are we expecting people who are compared in the real life not to compare themselves in the digital spaces? They'll keep on comparing themselves even in the digital spaces. Yeah.
Asante sana Shaz. One of the biggest tragedies of life is when you as a parent, you didn't get the grades to be a doctor, but you want a doctor out of your children so that you can brag in the mtaa. Yes. All right? So we are carrying our burdens in the shape of our children, and we push them so hard. All right? Research says that up to around 70-75% of young people make decisions not because of their circumstances, but because of what they feel they wanted to be felt by the other people, which is peer pressure. All right? So it's really toxic. It's really, really toxic. But because we do not have a lot of time to delve into that alone, I want us to go into another perspective. Sheila, you did something very nice, the breathing exercise. How many of us normally do the breathing exercises as a daily routine? When we are mad. Oh, thank you. Please clap for that gentleman. Oh, ni mkuu. Tulikuwa naye kule Harvard. He knows what is supposed to be done. So there's this adage that prevention is better than cure. All right? So what are some of the activities, strategies can we adopt to make sure people thrive, they are well, are effective on social media, they don't fall to pressure, uwawi na stress na vitu kama hizo. So what is it that we can do to prevent young people from getting to a situation where anaambiwa sasa nabidi uone a psychologist or someone like that? So what are the activities that we can do? What are the strategies to make sure we don't degenerate to a situation where we are depressed or we have to seek a psychologist? Yeah.
Okay, we'll start with, just as Shazmin has mentioned, every human being has 3 parts: the body, the soul, and the spirit. Okay? The spirit, majority of the people connect with the spirit through religion or through spirituality. Sawa sawa? The soul is one of the most ignored, because in the soul there is the mind, there is the will, and there is the emotions. So I'll take my body to the doctor, I'll feed my body, I will sleep, but what happens to my mind, my emotions, and my will? It's like they're just non-existent. So one of the things that we advocate for, even as stool wellness, is play therapy. That's a huge part of well-being. It's a huge pillar of your well-being. How have you found yourself playing? When was the last time you played a game? By show of hands, actually. How many times have you played recently? In the past 1 week? See a simu. See games za simu. I mean actually played. That's a good number. That's like 5% of the crowd. 5%. Where's your inner child? Let me tell you how play looks like in the world of today. It's because when you laugh, when you're running, you look like a child. Unaambiwa huku nje hiyo ni utoto. So what do? You go to the club, you take your drink. Uko ndo utafanya utoto. Ukweli uongo? You let loose. What do kids do? They let loose. When they play, they let loose. That's where drug addiction actually comes in. You're chasing a part of yourself that you are not able to express when you are sober. So you run to express it when you're under the influence. So play therapy is very important. Like, set aside times of your day. Just be yourself. Yes, job, the corporate world has put you on the straight and narrow. Go back home. Do something. Play with your nieces or nephews, or play with your friends. Have some time and just, express yourself.
Asante sana. Sijui kama tuna DJ hapa ama vipi, maana ningekuwa nasikia ngoma tayari. By the way, one of my secrets is I cannot dance even to save my life. But wanasema dancing is one of the most therapeutic activities. So ukidance wewe unajitoa kwenye masaibu, lakini wengine hata kama uko kama mimi uwezi una miguu mmoja miguu yote miwili, just shake tu angalau uonekane kama unafanya jambo. I'm coming back to the audience because I will not be asking all the questions peke yangu. I will ask the last question to Shaz, and then ningependa kuchukua maswali matatu Sheikh Ali kutoka kwa audience. Sheila, can we give people hope? Young people are here na tumeongea vile ambavyo ni kubaya, kuna stress, kuna trauma, kuna depression, watu wanajitoa uhai. Can you give them hope that actually there are ways that we can live a very dignified life as young people without pressure?
So one thing is, pressure will always be there. But then there are things that we have in control and there are things that we do not have in control.
Kama kunyeshewa?
Exactly, kama kunyeshewa. We are drenched in rain, but I say we are drenched in love and the smell of soil after the rain.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Tumuuliza regelee hiyo. Naomba regelee.
We are not drenched in rain. We are drenched in love and the smell of the soil after the rain.
Wow.
So
wale wenye naika statement kwa Guinness Book of Records sijui kama wako. Okay.
So when we are looking at these stresses of lives, when you're looking at the triggers, I've been talking about something recently which is the opposite of triggers. What is your glimmer?
Glimmer.
What is your glimmer? A glimmer is a moment in your life, a person or something that gives you joy even when you are tired. And these glimmers can be part of your emotional regulation kit. So when you have an emotional regulation kit, what is it actually? An emotional regulation kit is when you're trying to prevent that burnout, when you're trying to prevent actually falling into depression, that day by day or weekly check-up on yourself. So when you're designing an emotional regulation kit or an emotional first aid kit, you also have to check on your love language. You also have to check on your love language. So an example of an emotional first aid kit is if I have something to hold. If maybe my love language is physical touch, I could have a hot water bottle that I can hug anytime when I'm alone and feeling sad. I could have a journal if I feel good writing about it. I could have something for all the senses. The psychosensory therapy. So psychosensory therapy look at what you can see either mentally or literally. Mentally, in that you can visualize. Then what are you listening to? Do you, in your emotional regulation kit, do you have music or maybe Quran or maybe gospel that can calm you down? Anything of the sound, anything of the taste, something that we have comfort food. Do you know your comfort food? Something for the smell, aromatherapy. It is okay to get to your house, just burn an incense stick, spray something, get into the shower, have a very good bubbly bath with a fragrant shower gel. That is part of aromatherapy. Then we have things to with the throat. By the way, I don't know if you're asking yourself, when I did the breathing exercises, I told you to, what was it for? It's because the vocals, when we are taking that vocal out, we are also listening to this calm humming sounds. Humming really helps. If you can't sing and you feel like the lyrics aren't lyricking, hum that favorite song. When you're humming, it calms your nerves down. It's part of calming the nerves down, and that is why the lion's breath is very important, as important. So when I said customize it to a love language, it's because when it is in the same thing I said on, if it is in a language that you cannot receive, then you're not going to receive it. It's like being a learner, a students in the house. If you're a student and you're a visual learner, you're not a scriptural learner, no matter how many notes you take, you're going to achieve something maybe, but it's going to be more valuable to you if you actually use visuals. You take your strength, focus on it when it comes to education. The same thing applies in mental health. What is your strength when it comes to calming down? You cannot tell me that aromatherapy is not for you and you're there just spraying and burning essence and it's not calming you down, because that's not for you. We also have to look at our survival modes. People go into fight, flight or freeze. You cannot tell a person who goes into freeze mode to take a walk when they're stressed. They do not have energy for that. When somebody is in the flight or fight mode, hormones are released in the body to enable them to generate energy for activities. That is why a person who is in the fight or flight mode, they'll just be on the move. If I was angry at this time, I would be like, I'm so mad, I don't know where to channel this energy. My body is moving involuntarily. There's a lot of energy that has to be released. So for me, I'm going to take a walk, take a run, punch the pillow, not a person. Punch that pillow, and it's going to help you calm because you have channeled that energy in a positive way. For a person who's on freeze mode and you're telling this person, can you just get up? They do not understand getting up. They do not have the energy to get up. They don't even have the energy to experience what they're feeling.
They're on hypo.
Exactly.
They don't have the energy.
Yes. That's why when I talk about the extremes in mental health, I talk about both extremes. We have insomnia, we have hypersomnia. People who cannot sleep because the hormones that calm them down is very minimal. Then we have hypersomnia to the other extreme. They sleep for more than 12 hours a day, 12 to 16 hours a day. We have people who overeat, people who starve themselves. So it's in both extremes, and if we look at it in that dimension holistically, then we'll be able to approach it better.
Thank you very much, Sheila. Nikifuatana na wewe naona nitafukuzwa hapa stage, manake everything you bring out is so important, and yet ile saa pale ananiambia dakika zimebaki kidogo. I'm going to read that book. I don't know when you are writing it, but I'm going to read that book. Very, very important. I was especially inspired by the way you umezitengeza kutoka kwa kusikia, kwa kuona, kwa kusmell, kwa kutouch, all that kind of stuff. Amazing. Na wale ambao kwamba ni kama mimi hawezi kuafford zile makolon za kunukia vizuri. Kule kwetu kuna miti inaitwa kivumbani na vingine kama vile. Inanukia vizuri pia. So baki huko. Kuna wimbo uliimbwa akasema don't go chasing waterfalls. Just stick to the rivers and the lakes that you are used to. Sisi tubaki kule kwa vivumbani. kwa sababu labda hizi koloni na maroma zingine hatuziwezi. Thank you so very much. Sheikh Ali, if you may, tafadhali nitafutie maswali matatu kwa sababu ya muda mbaki na dakika 4 peke yake, naomba maswali matatu.
Hello, my name is Mohammed Hassan, Chairman NUSO from Nairobi, Kibra. I have one question. What role does faith and spirituality play in supporting youth mental wellness? Because sometimes you find that people use it to oppress, there's some people who use it positively. So what role does it actually play? Thank you.
Thank you very much. All the way from Nairobi. Hilo ni swali la the lady in red. Another question?
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon to you.
My name is Faith Charles from Swahili Pot FM. Is there a difference? Could you tell us the difference between normal stress and a potential mental concern? That's it. Thank you.
Shaz atachukua hiyo. You got it right? Okay. Thank you. The third one. I hope it's not coming to me.
Hi everyone, my name is Angela Freigard. My question will be the issue of childhood trauma and the current issue of discipline. Because as much as I advocate for mental health, but again, I feel a lot of people are also hiding in that to promote indiscipline issues. Because like right now we have a huge rate of youths who are ghosting jobs and saying, you know what, I want to prioritize my mental health and all that. So at what point tunapatiwangwa hiyo leeway as youths?
Hiyo delicate balance.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Makofi kwao jamani, makofi kwao. Na kwa sababu hao maswali tumeongeza dakika kidogo ili tuweze kuyajibu. Tunaanza na Sheila.
Okay. So I'll start with the question on faith and spirituality. As I said, 3 parts: soul and spirit. Spirit is where spirituality is connected. But then we forget that also when you're looking at spirituality, we believe that your soul is saved. Okay? Meaning that the first step of spirituality has to do with the mind. What do you believe? Okay? So, in essence, when you're looking at the extremists, is they try to brainwash you into not thinking for yourself. But anyone that is walking into spirituality will teach you and will allow you to search whatever scriptures, be it the Torah, be it the Quran, be it the Bible. You search the scriptures yourself. Then, by searching the scriptures, you come to a decision that you see is fit in terms of your well-being. Under spirituality, there is counsel from spiritual leaders. That's also another part. In the community that you have, are you or are your leaders under a leader who is under a leader? Because most organizations that there is brainwashing and things of the extremist, it's because they're lone rangers. So who is keeping the checks and balances? So there has to be somebody where beyond outside like the corporate worship, there is one-on-one. We call it, at the church that I go to, we say it's a minister of one. You meet one person, one-on-one, and you walk life together. My spiritual leader says, as the church grows bigger, the church must grow smaller. So are we getting smaller? Are we getting one-on-one relationships? So those one-on-one relationships allow you to live life together, to do life together. When you're going through a tough time, can you be able to reach out to somebody that can hear you and can understand what you're going through, and then pray with you and walk with you that journey of wellness? I hope I've answered the question.
Thank you very much. And if there's only one similarity around all the religions: Islamic, Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, and all those. Go check. All religions teach kindness and wellness. So if anybody is using religion to hurt someone else, then they are not using that religion very well. All right? Thank you very much. Shaz.
Thank you so much. Allow me to add a bit on that. I'm currently studying quantum energy in relation to psychology. And according to that, I realized that spirituality can be different from religion. We can have somebody who's spiritual, but they are not religious. We can have somebody very religious, but they're not spiritual. An example is when we say, and when I'm saying we, I'm talking about the Islamic community. I've heard a lot of Muslims say that mental health is something so westernized. It was not in the Islamic perspective. So this is somebody who is religious, but they are not spiritual because they are not able to tune in some of the teachings to bring calm in their lives. Spirituality allows you to take those teachings and embody them. You embody that into the balance of getting that calm in yourself. An example is when we have practices like making ablution. So for those who are wondering what ablution is, so before we pray, there's a part-to-part body wash where we wash the face, the hands, the legs, and it happens before every prayer. It is not only for purity, though we are taught since we are very young, that's only for purity. But then I come to psychology.
It's because those teaching us don't even know that its contribution to mental health.
Absolutely, because to them mental health is that it's all in the head. So we come to psychology, and in psychosensory therapy allows us to tune into our mental state using our senses. So we use water, cold water, warm water, and we rush this water on people's head, the feet, the hands, and people say that feels so good. But you realize that you're doing it 5 times a day, but because your intention is not there, you're just practicing religion without spirituality. You're not embodying that calmness in you. Yeah.
Thank you. They say when you touch your forehead with water, it's like you are activating your thinking brain, which calms you. It makes you wiser, makes you less emotional, stuff like that. So maybe religion meant that we are taught all that, but if we are taught by half-baked people, they don't tell us all that information. All right? Thank you very much. The third question was on the delicate balance between punishment, SE, adverse childhood experiences, and she talked about punishment. When does it become punishment, and when does it become a way of disciplining? What I may say, things or circumstances that led, for instance, for Kenya to ban corporal punishment in schools is because there was a transfer of emotions from the home to the school, where teachers had their own struggles in their homes, they had fights in their homes, and because they had so much energy, they were acting out. They were acting out on children. So they are hitting them so badly, not to just correct them, but it's like they are hitting someone thinking they are hitting the person who hurt them back home. So it doesn't become discipline anymore. It becomes a suffering. So the delicate balance between discipline and abuse is where the pain transcends the intention of the pain. Because in religion tunaambiwa mtoto anapokosea jaribu kuadminister some pain ili asitake kurejelea kosa hilo. Na pain inaweza kuwa labda ni kumwambia maneno makali, baadaye kama hajasikia you go into maybe unaweza mcheleweshea chakula, inafika mahali labda unamwambia hii hasta hutokula because of that. But inakwenda in doses. But when unampatia adhabu to an extent kwamba mpaka inabidi ukamtafutie therapy baada hiyo adhabu kupita, then it means it's not anymore a discipline issue, but rather is a punishment. Now, these have been a very big debate. I am not an expert, and maybe I will allow the two experts in psychology to say something. There's been a big debate around bringing back the corporal punishment. Wengine wakisema tusichukue. But the hallmark is, where is the boundary? Because kuna mtoto, for instance, napenda kupeana hii mifano. And unfortunately for our wives and mothers, mara nyingi wanapenda sana kusomea watoto asubuhi. Wewe hujaoga nini na nini, wataka kwenda shule, si ndio? But I tell you, kuna kina mzee Atrash na kina mzee Mahmud. Mama anaweza ongea nusu saa na watoto wapiga kelele, alafu akishuka akitoka pale kwa mlango amwambie, vipi mbona mama anakuambia hivi na hujasikia? And they stop doing what they're not supposed to do, no wanaingia kwenye line. So sometimes it's about how do you position yourself even in that context of discipline. Na to what extent now can we say hapa nitatumia kiboko kwa sababu maneno hayajapita. But there's another parent who feels every mistake is like a hammer and a nail. Kila kitu ya kugongwa tu. Ukimgonga sana inafika mahali hata kumgonga kusikii tena. So hata atafanya kitu kibaya zaidi kwa sababu ashazoea kwamba akifanya kitu utamgonga. So they don't care anymore. But I can tell you, in my own house, labda sijatandika mtoto for the last 4 years. It doesn't mean atuwaadhibu kwa njia zingine, but they realize if you have to ken them, they have asked for it. Lakini sio kwamba hata akifanya kitu kidogo tu tayari unamtandika, then it becomes just a part of their life and then it doesn't work anymore. Yeah. So there's a delicate balance. I may not be the expert, but again, you as a parent, you are the expert who understands to what extent does your child go astray, na ni wapi penye anahitaji kiboko sasa, lakini si kila wakati mtoto anahitaji kiboko. Maybe if you may want to say something, naona kuna mkono kule.
I have something to add. Discipline must have a goal. Lazima iwe na goal. Goal yako ni gani? So you discipline based on the goal, not based on your emotions or your feelings. As a parent or even as a boss at work, as the HR, you need to be wise enough to ask yourself, what is the goal? Mtoto ameenda akaiba sukari. Goal ni gani? Aache kuiba sukari. Then you can decide to use a cane, umchape mkono. For instance, that just been an example. Kuna ile yenye mtoto ameenda akaingia kwa jirani akaiba. What is the goal? That aache kuiba, asiingie kwa jirani tena. There is a way that you need to discipline. Do you need to have a sit down with this child and ask them, ni nini amekosa nyumbani ndio ikafanya aende kwa wenyewe kuiba? Because at times utaenda kumchapa and the point is the child will not understand the point, because kesho ile shida alikuwa nayo yenye ilifanya aende aibe, it will still take them there. So depending on the goal that you have for this child is how you decide to discipline them. Because if you discipline them according to how you feel, is when they frustrate you, you will beat them probably yell at them, and this begins to confuse them because they don't understand why is it that leo na chapwa, kesho na screamiwa. It gives anxiety. When you're anxious, you start running away from a stimulus. Yani kitu yenye ina whatever. So hata ukiwa na shida, you cannot run to the same parent. So does this child understand the goal of your discipline, so that whatever method that you use, you get the transformation that you desire as a parent?
Asante sana Sheila. Najua kuna mkono kule. Every child in every family anajua baba yake akitaka kununua Jaguar ananunua. Every child in every family ana feel kwamba baba akitaka kununua tule mchele tunakula, tukakule chapati tunakula, tule nyama tunakula. Ni wewe baba ndo unajua zile siku unaweza na siku hauwezi. So if that information does not percolate to that child, they may do something very extreme, but it's because they don't have that information. wanajua tu wametaka chapati kama majirani venye nakula chapati na hapa haipikwi. So sometimes this matter of discipline is about getting a bit cozy with children, making them understand. Na mtoto kimweleza, baba leo hatuna, lakini kijaliwa Mungu na ukileta Mungu akitujalia tuombe sote tutaweza. They start understanding kwamba kumbe kuna siku zenye mzazi hana. But if you just keep them, kenning them kwa sababu amesema ataka chapati umpike ugali, you may ken them until they die. But they don't understand why hakuna chapati hiyo siku. Ali.
Hamjambo. Kwa majina naitwa Michael Odhiambo. Swali langu ni kuwa, kwa mfano mtu amepatwa na tatizo la ugonjwa unaitwa schizophrenia. Madaktari wengi wanasema kuwa ugonjwa huo unatokana na miadarati, wengine wakisema kuwa pia ni genetics, na wengine wanasema kuwa haiwezi pona. Sasa kulingana na psychologist hapo, nilikuwa nataka tu unifahamishe ni vipi mtu anaweza kupona kwa tatizo la schizophrenia, ama unaweza muadvise vipi mtu mwenye ako na tatizo la schizophrenia kuweza kupata jawabu la shida yake.
Asante. Sheila, take it.
Yes.
Okay, can we take 2 more na ndo tumalize muda wetu, maana kimebaki na dakika
yeah, there's one who has written, what is the innovation on mental health? What is the innovation on mental health?
Asante. Charles will take that. Okay, can we get a last one? There's my brother here. Amekaa siti ya mbele, usimnyime kuuliza swali.
My question is on the working space. How can employers differentiate between burnouts and actual dedication in terms of rewarding their employees? Because most bosses or CEOs usually reward burnouts.
Okay, I'm getting to understand. I'm sure the two
one
ladies will help us.
Last one.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Rosemary. I'm a counselor too. I graduated last year. So my question is, how do you guys help young counselors like myself to in their careers? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Very quickly, we have less than 7 minutes. If we may start with Sheila. You have 2 questions, and then Shaz, and then I may take the other.
Okay. Wonderful. So I'm going to answer the gentleman that asked about schizophrenia as a mental illness. So first of all, schizophrenia is not necessarily caused by only drug-induced schizo, but as he said, again, he said that also genetics has a huge part to play. Now, to the specific question that he asked, in different cases, schizo can be managed differently. Number one, there are people that have to go to mental institutions for a while and be on medication, and the medication, they will be able to be on medication for a lifetime. Because for them, unless they take the medication, their illness may not be reversed. In other cases that are sana drug-induced, you can be able to be on medication for a certain period of time, but as time goes by, they go reducing the amount of medication to a point that you stop getting the episodes. There are cases where it's drug-induced, that once you stop using the drug of choice or the substance, it phases out. So it's not necessarily that it doesn't have cure. In other cases, there is an option. But that means that anytime somebody that has already gotten schizo, anytime they're predisposed to that, if they do not handle their triggers well. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Sheila. What is important is all schizos need care. So usikae naye kwa nyumba kamfunga mikono ama miguu, all schizophrenia situations need care. Na ni daktari after taking the history ndo atajua hii itapona baada muda gani ama hii lazima tumie dawa kila siku. What is important is tafadhali all those cases tuzipeleke kwa care centers. Asante.
Okay, so mine was on innovation in the mental health sector. Innovation to me is creating a holistic approach. The same way we are separating body from mind when it comes to physical health, I find that we are also separating body from mind again when it comes to mental health. Physical health is also part of mental health. I've been trying to check on biospiritual psychosocial metrics where we can integrate biology, physics, and spirituality again, not religion, with psychosocial support. And maybe under that, if I can give an example using the previous question on correcting, on disciplinary. So there is a saying, correcting without connecting is dissociating from a child. Correcting without connecting is dissociating from a child. So how are we correcting without connecting? Connecting first. The reason of that mistake. I'm saying mistake in quotes because sometimes it's not a mistake, they're just acting their age. Yeah. So you cannot expect a 4-year-old to sit still when they have that energy to run around. They want to, we just label these surges of energy that they cannot control. And I believe sometimes we even say, do not give a child sweet because they're going to be very hyperactive. They're going to be hyper, they're not going to sleep. It's very much true. It's true even for grown-ups. I recently found out that taking too much fruits can heighten your anxiety. Yeah? So when you're looking at a child, consider the age. Now this is where now I'm bringing in innovation. Consider the age, because I'm saying innovation because it's something that has not been considered before. Life is wonderful. We all make mistakes. We learn and unlearn and relearn. And this is a mistake I made. The mistake I made was I went to a certain school and kids were really, really noisy. I didn't say it to them directly, but I said to one of the teachers, why are they so unsettled? When we were their age, we weren't like this. But then later on, I sat with myself and asked myself, were you ever not like that, or is it because you did not get a chance to be a child? So when you're correcting them, ask yourself, are they being a child or making a mistake?
Or if you were to be a child today, wouldn't you do the same?
Wouldn't you do the same? And unfortunately, some of us did not do the same. And that is why you're called too mature for your age. That is why somebody might say, you're too mature for your age. You've taken a lot of responsibility at a young age, but then that means there are a lot of loops that have to be covered. And now innovation in mental health will mean we have to look for ways of covering those loops. We have to look for ways of dealing with it in another way, such that we are not carrying childhood traumas to relationships. We are not carrying relationship problems to the workplace. We are not carrying workplace problems to the public transports. So I don't know if there's anything else.
Okay, thank you very much. I know time is really.
There's one question that
there's a question that I want. Yes, the workplace.
The issue of the workplace and how to deal with Gen Zs who are sometimes they pick up their bag and they're like, I need to take care of my mental health. Yeah. And for us who are also managers, sometimes unakuta, it's becoming hard for us, to share the workload and stuff. Also,
and then there's a question on young people, where do they come in?
Yeah.
I know in management we're told that management is about a carrot and a stick, but he's refuting that. So where is the balance?
We'll start with, you asked about burnout. Kind of like the management is rewarding burnout. These are people wenye wanajituma excess mpaka wanaisha and they are being rewarded. Is that what you meant? Okay.
Oh, it means wale wanatia bidii sana, wanaonekana wanatia bidii sana. wanakuwa rewarded, but maybe they may not be the best. So what is the balance? How do you make sure even those who are silent but very productive
Yes.
are also rewarded?
And on the flip side, actually, to just add that, there are people that are not even people pleasing in the work environment, but they do the work that they need to do. And yet, since they do not have a very good relationship with the ones that are in management, they end up having problems because of it. Yeah? And so the balance comes in a place of where is the place of relationship building versus work. Because it's the same problem in connections and output. You're employing people that are, you know the people, but the output even in our offices, in the government offices, is very poor. So first of all is, does the HR actually have conversations and real conversations with the staff the people, the employed people? Because if you know what is on ground, they are able to actually come up with solutions that are helping the people on ground, and not the people that the managers are happy with. Because majority of the HR are under management, so they don't have autonomy of operation. And so when it comes to that kind of situation, external parties are usually needed to add into the sanity, to bring sanity into the workplace. And therefore, output is not just looked up as, what do you call this, the results. There are people that their greatest skills is putting people together. But such things are not rewarded.
There are connectors and disruptors at workplace.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, Sheila, because of element of time, this is a very deep conversation. And for me, my brother, you are talking comparison between a balanced scorecard and management by objectives. A balanced scorecard is just about data that umepata hizi numbers. But management by objective is about discussing the objectives, breaking them down, celebrating milestones together between the management and the employee. And when they struggle, you have sequences where you meet maybe quarterly. For an objective that is annual, you meet quarterly to see, is he achieving? Is she achieving? Why is she not achieving? If she's achieving so fast, maybe naona hiyo objective haikuwa mzuri, labda tunabidi kuiongeza kidogo. If she's overwhelmed, unasema maybe that objective, maybe that target was too high, and you move with them. That is management objective. It has so many milestones celebrated and also sequences of conversations. It may not happen all over the place. We only go for scorecards, which is just a number of data by the end of the year, and sometimes it is hurting a lot of people. But that's a very long conversation that maybe with time some other day we may be able to have that conversation. Kwa dadangu mwenye amesema as young experts in the psychology field and whatever, wanasaidiwa vipi? One area is mentorship, and I'm sure Swahili Pot has that opportunity for mentorship. Another opportunity is voluntary work, where you can come, you are given platforms where you can exercise, and then unapata watu wanakupatia feedback. And then another one is given job shadowing. Job shadowing ni pale ambapo unaenda kuplay the role of the main focal person, lakini wewe uko under yeye na anakuangalia kama unafanya makosa ama unafanya vyema. So those are some of the options, and I'm sure Swahili Pot have that. Sisi pale Samba Sports, we are dealing a lot with mental health, and if people come by and they are of course they've been trained on a degree and a diploma, we give them opportunities as well. So I'm sure it is the same for Swahili Pot, and even probably Sheila has the same opportunities. Yeah. So I want to wrap it up, but before I do that, these are ladies taking waudhi sana. Maybe you can say your last comment, and then we are able to wrap it up. Let's start with Shaz.
So last comment is experience life. Live, do not survive. Sometimes you're just surviving and surviving and surviving. And when we are trying to heal and actually get from the survival point to actually living, one thing is mindfulness. I cannot get tired of talking about mindfulness. Be in the present. Cherish those little moments. Yeah, love yourself, and love yourself is actually a phrase that is misused. Okay, I don't want it to be so long.
Thank you.
Yeah, but yeah, be mindful and
love yourself.
Yeah,
I'm going to repeat that. Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Yeah. Thank you
Yeah,
so much. Shaz, Sheila.
I'm going to say two things. The first is one problem at a time. You cannot handle all the problems that you have. Just pick one, fight it, finish. Start a new one, fight it, and finish. And the second thing I'm going to say is self-care is not overconsumption. It's not buying things. It's not massage only. It's not skincare only. Self-care has to do with your mental space. Things that are free. Journal, shower, laugh, eat, sleep, drink water, go to the gym, exercise, self-care.
Asante sana. I want to say this, standing up. For me, my last comment is disregard the noise. Don't listen to the noise. Live your life. If you want to do something and you could still do it even if God was standing in front of you, just do it. Just do it. Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful session. We hope to meet again very soon somewhere. Thank you, Shahadi.
Thank you very much. Let's clap for them one more time. We really appreciate Mohamed Chausa, who is the team leader, Samba Sports Youth Trust, Sheila Muli, together with Ante Sana. We are going to have a small break in like 5 minutes, whereby Lillian, if you're around, kindly approach. You are supposed to give us entertainment, but as we do that, Kenya National Innovation Agency, Kenya, kwa exhibition huko, musikose kuenda. Naambiwa niwaarifu muende huko, mtapata usaidizi iwapo kuna ushauri wowote. Pia Kemu Vision wako pale, Big Sports, Big Ship, Bike is Best, Kenya hawa wote wako katika exhibitions ambazo ziko pale. Iwapo unahitaji lolote, unaweza kwenda kufika pale. Pia naarifiwa kwamba Ayomi 254 wako pale, Zamari Ethics, bila kusahau NRF wote wako pale, bila kusahau Big Ship ambao wamekuwa na pia mjadala mzuri sana. Watu wa picha hapo kidogo, ops ni muhimu. Lillian, if you are around, kindly songea karibu. Naarifiwa pia we have Jackie Footwear, Mkala Crafted Luxury, there's also Kalita Art Experience, thank you. There's also the Bioneer ambao hii ni lab pale. Kuna Kenya Coast National Polytechnic ambao pia wako na exhibition zao pale. If you want to know anything about them, kindly approach them. Baada ya hapa pia kutakuwa na breakout sessions zingine 2 ambazo zimebakia, 3. Moja itafanyika hapa, nyingine itafanyika amphitheater pale, nitawaelezea.
Na pia tukumbuke pia na Coast pia wako huko, nimekumbushwa pale kwenye display pale, watu watembee pia kule. Sawa.
Safi kabisa. Baada ya hapa nadhani tumemalizana na hapa. Mimi nitakwenda upande wa lab pale, computer lab. Kuna kikao ambacho nimeambiwa niende nikakisimamie. Wenzangu atabaki hapa, mmoja Noni, bila shaka Noni atabakia hapa. For the breakout session 8, venue imechange from Ali Mazrui. We are going to be at the Comp Lab pale. Tupatane hapo, whereby the topic is on defending youth and SMEs against digital threats in East Africa. Kindly, wale ambao wangependa kwenda huko, tuanze safari. Tawajoin wenzangu pale amphitheater. Amphitheater tutakuwa na minor, bila shaka. Nadhani kila kitu kiko sawa pale. Lakini hapa tutakuwa na breakout session 6 ambako Noni ndo atakuwa ni mwenye kuisimamia, na from idea to impact, nurturing youth led startups and social enterprise for Pwani needs. Hiyo ni ya amphitheater ambapo Maina, take lead please.
Tafadhali wale
Yes.
watu ambao wanapenda mambo mazuri tupatane amphitheater, mimi nitakuwa kule. Sasa seti zile ni mbaya, seti zile zingine ni mbaya. Lakini nasema tu, alafu Noni karibia kidogo hapa, karibia hapa.
Zima mic.
Imenyeshewa kidogo.
Okay.
Haya, twende basi.
In this segment nitakuwa na deal na wasanii. We have thought leadership leading the gig economy. So if you are in the gig economy, baki hapa, tutakuwa na Mas Masai from Hiva Fund. So tuko hapa.
Haya, ngoja kidogo. Ali, naomba uje hapa. Njoo hapa karibu. Njoo hapa karibu ndio tuweze kuelezea vizuri.
Yes, sir.
Unajua kuna watu wengine walisema sijui walisema nini. Haya, sawa. Haya, kama wewe ni mtu wa usanii mambo kama yale.
Usanii, watu wa tech pia, anybody who is in the gig economy, kama kazi yako hulipwi mwisho wa mwezi,
ubaki hapa.
Kama mimi.
Lakini sasa ni watu wote hapa, hakuna mtu hapa analipwa mwisho wa mwezi.
Kama kazi yako unalipwa, ukimaliza tu unalipwa. You stay with me here. We are going to be discussing.
Sawa. Alafu wewe kwako unawapeleka wapi?
Wale ambao wanataka kujiajiri, SMEs ndogo is defending youth and SMEs against digital threats in East Africa. Tutakuwa pale kwa Complab. Tupatane hapo.
Complab, ukiuliza sijui umepotea yote ambaye ameandikwa pale Swahili Pot ama kitu kama hicho, mwambie Complab iko wapi, upeleke kule.
At first it was supposed to be at Ali Mazrui's hall, but now we've changed to the Complab.
Alafu sasa mimi nabaki na wale tunaenda pale amphitheater. Na wale ambao wanataka kumove, just moving from ideas to impact. Kama wewe unajua ideas ziko kwa kichwa tu hivi na nazitembei, kuja pale tuzitembeze. Sawa. From ideas to impact, nurturing youth-led startups and social enterprises pale amphitheater. Sawa, pale hakuna kucheka, ni kuenda kama tumeenda.
Safi kabisa. DJ kidogo, lakini tunamsubiri Lilian. Kama uko around, the stage is yours. Here she is.
Karibu sana
Lilian.
Words express what the mind thinks.
Written words. Go together.
Words express what the mind thinks.
Written words express what the heart feels.
So, let's pour out our hearts. Anger,
Rage,
fears,
tears,
anxiety.
Well, does having to go through things that are meant to make you strong weaken you? Does it? It's their loss, but we have to promise ourselves that all will be well, that our hearts will swell and feel the whole, while that's not what it is.
Because my body is in a mess. See, I said maybe I'm sick, so I tried to seek remedies. Tried going to the therapist and starting taking pills, spending hours in the showers trying to get rid of the unclean. I had this burning anger that maybe suicide is the best answer. So I tried all suicide tricks, but death rejected me.
Anxiety has made its way into my heart, and now it's not only my best friend, but also my best enemy. She is someone whom I'm stuck with till the end.
She's always been, and she'll always be. Sometimes she's right, and sometimes she stings like a bee.
My anxiety. My anxiety has no room for any explanation. You do what she wants without any question.
When she calls, you have to answer. I'm the slave and she is the master.
You. Yes, you. And you. You are the hope I had. But my heart still grows in pain. The hard lessons that comes from making mistakes in life are an effective way to learning lessons. And life has taught me not to be subtle about what you want. Because there's always light at the end of the tunnel.
See, I tried seeking remedies. And tell me, where can I find beauty from this brokenness? I tried, but each effort was worthless.
Anxiety has made its way into my heart. And now it's not only my best enemy, but also my best friend. She is someone whom I'm stuck with till the end.
She's always been, and she'll always be. Sometimes she's right, and sometimes she stings like a bee.
My anxiety.
Mwakireti.
Foiteti.
Thank you.
I see you came to party. Banange Moses Amarandis. Party like this, can't come up with sardines. Banange Moses Amarandis. Sound it, sound baby, could come be yes.
Right. That was Lillian, a very, very beautiful piece. Right. Tafadhali, sisi ndo wageni waheshimiwa in this session. If you are in the gig economy, you're your own boss right now. So if there's a seat in front of you, please, tusonge mbele tafadhali. Tusonge mbele. And we are only going to start after mesonge mbele. I do not want to see any empty seats in front. Yes, and thank you for being so obedient. Thank you so much for being obedient. Now, next step to sisi water. Let's all stand up, tafadhali. Let's all stand up. Let's all be obedient here. I have a gift for all of you. You know, this is a section where I know most of us are artists. We have techies in the building and a lot of. Washaenda, Maina, your people are there. They're moving. All right, now I want to welcome our hype MC who will come and, help us kutuondolea baridi kidogo. So if you can hear this voice of Abali be running on stage right now, my people are ready to dance and move the body. Ako wapi? Tumpige makofi. Yeah.
Hebu turn to your neighbor mwambie very beautiful. Kama kuna msichana kando yako, angalia neighbor wako. Turn to your neighbor. Toa baridi. Ina kama ana ndevu kama mimi, mwambie you are very handsome. Make sure unasalimia watatu. Okay, I want to tufanye hivi. Give a high five to 6 friends unaona kando yako. Acha nihesabu 1. Nataka kuona ukimove. Aye. 1. Huyo ndo wa kwanza. MC, uko fiti mwanzo? Uko fiti kabisa. Wewe wa kwanza, wa pili. Give a high to your second neighbor. The third neighbor. Bado kuna watu wamesimama. Ukisimama unakuja una dance na mimi hapa mbele. MC, ukipata mtu amesimama unamleta mbele. Sawa? Nikipata mtu apeani high five, kama mtu apeani high five anatoka mbele. Sawa? Sijui umeshapata wangapi MC? Huyu hapa kijana wangu karibu. Leta huyu. Mlete. Hata huyu apeani. Kuja tu. Hata huyu wa Manchester, watu wa Manchester wagopangi kuja kidogo. Kuja tu, hata usijali kuja. Wewe kuja. Huyu ashapata, si ndio? Kuja. Alafu DJ speaking, sijui kama uko rada. I want you to know we train, sawa? Super MC. Ni kuongezea watu ama umetosha? Kuja msi nataka nifanye kitu.
Hata nikubalansia gender.
Balance gender. Kuna mwenye apatiani high five later pia.
Sawa. Nikubalansia gender. Ay.
Alafu weka mikono juu.
Wewe tuende. Usikue hivyo.
Weka mkono juu, ita. Angalia huko nyuma, angalia wala tunyako exhibition, waambie wakuje. Tuangalie nyuma. Angalia nyuma, uita watu wenyako huko nyuma wasonge mbele. Waite, DJ speaking. Give me the sound. Aya, twende hivi wote. Twende hivi, sawa? Mwenye dance MC unaniletea mbele, sawa?
You see the girl with the
Twende. Aya, tunasonga mbele kidogo. Jipe space. Twende. Haraka kidogo. Twende. Haraka kidogo. Ongeza speed. Wake up. Energy. Alafu tunaenda chini kidogo. Twende. Ruka twende. Jump. MC mwenye ajabu unauleta. Inua miguu tena, ruka. Mwenye dansa mlesa, sawa? Wapi? Weka dance. Lazima nione watu wakidance. Haya twende chini. Twende chini. Twende tu. Twende chini. Twende tu. Wapi? Weka mikono juu. Weka. Chapa. Maringo. Ati. Aha. Alafu. Toa joto kidogo, toa baridi. Ingiza joto.
Roll the boat. Roll the boat. Roll the boat, you know. Roll the boat now. Signal the plane on the signal the plane. Signal the plane on the signal the plane now. Parachute. Parachute. Parachute.
Ya mwisho.
Pon the river. Pon the bank. Pon the river.
Eka energy.
Give them a run, wanna give them a run, yo. Give them a run, wanna give them a run, yeah. Give them a run, wanna give them a run, yeah.
Alafu hiyo.
Well, I don't really care what people say. I don't really watch what them wanna do. Kill I got to stick to my girls like glue.
Wanna get me hot this year? Where them a go do? They hold me. What do you mean? Wanna get me wicked this year? Not even water can gold me.
Wake up, dance, Ati!
Wanna get me hot, wanna get me hot, wanna get me wicked.
Bigger! Bigger!
Don't trespass. Hot boy Moses, stupid. Never get them lyrics on me more. Never get them slow and rapid. I am Thomas Alam. Don't feel that.
Wake up, mikono juu, twende, twende, say.
I am lyrically ill. 90s I am programmed to kill. Tell the one of them really come hot this year.
Aye, twende.
What do you mean? What do you mean wicked this year? Not even water can gold.
Rum turn me to a dancer. Rum turn me to a dancer. With the rum fucking.
Let me see the beautiful ladies in the house dance, please.
Rum turn me to a dancer. Let we go, let we go, let we go. When the rum tell you you's a big dancer.
Shake.
Come show them you's a big dancer.
Shake your waist. Bring the circle wewe.
Waistline cause you's a big dancer. When the rum tell you you's
Weka
a big
kidole moja juu ya hewa alafu zunguka nayo.
Bend down if you's a big dancer. Waistline cause you's a big dancer. Dancing.
Wake up! Zunguka! Alright! Aya, toa kofia kama uko nayo. Toa kofia. Zungusha. Kucha mbele, kucha. My DJ.
Hey. Wewe.
Uko. Ruka.
Wewe.
Ruka.
Wewe.
Ruka. Let me hear you.
MC. Wewe.
Ati. Si.
Hey.
Aiwasha tuimbe mamileno, sawa? Nataka tuimbe wote, sawa?
Ngoja kidogo. Wewe MC. Wewe MC. 30 seconds.
Wacha tuimbie millennium, sawa? Wacha tuimbie millennium, sawa? Say. Ati nini?
Ngoja kidogo. Wewe. Ngoja kidogo. Wewe, wasanii oye. After this session tunaendelea na hii, sawa?
After his session tuko naye a guest DJ who will be coming to entertain us. Unaona penye umeachia move? Tunaanzia hapo. Yeah, let's sit down tuweze kuendelea na hii session. Everybody sit down. And if you're sitting behind, uko nyuma, tafadhali make your way to the front because we want this to be the most engaging conversation ever. This is a topic that is about us. Inatuhusu sisi kama wasanii, the techies, anybody in the gig economy, hii ni yako. So make sure that you're taking notes and you're learning from this session. So without wasting time, do you remember how we do it? Give it a 4. Yeah, nani huyo alirudi shule saa 8? Good. Show them. Give it a 4. We clap. Give it a 4. Give it a 4. Give it a 4. Give it up for yourself for being here. Tujipige makofi. All right, so I will be... This topic is about leadership in the gig economy. And we have a guest speaker who will be coming to talk to us. Our guest speaker is from Leah Agency. He's the founder and CEO of Leah Agency. So everybody give it up for Chukli's Zuleha as she comes to give us a talk on this beautiful topic. Tupige makofi yanapofika.
Hello everybody, my name is Chuklis Adam, the CEO and founder of Leah Agency, an agency that deals with talent management and branding on the side. So basically what we do, we are building infrastructure for Kenya and African creators economy, right? So let me start by saying something. We all know this, but we rarely talk about it, right? The employment model is broken, right? A lot of youths are unemployed. A lot of youths are out there. They're not doing anything. We are normally told to go to school, go to primary school, then secondary, then uni, and then what? There's no job. We're all unemployed. Personally, I've been employed for like so many months, and it was hectic, right? So the system itself, the Kenyan the system around does not favor the youth. Is it true? A lot of youths are at home right now. They don't have anything to do. So what I can say is we need to adapt and create our own path, and that's how the gig economy comes in. So basically, gig economy is where you make money out of your skill, out of your brand, and out of your creativity, okay? Now, a lot of people always assume like the gig economy is just something like a delivery or like they don't see it as an important thing. But truly, right now in this age and day and era, the gig economy is what's taking up this space, the digital space and everything. The World Bank says by 2030, half of the world's or Africa's workspace will be taken in by the gig economy, right? And a lot of people always believe and assume that you need to go to the office, you need to work, but the gig economy thing is what's taking over the world right now. But here's a problem. A lot of people out here have talents, but they don't know how to package themselves. A lot of people assume, you know what, I can sing and this was gonna give me money, but packaging themselves and putting themselves out there is the problem, right? But now, we have a Swahili port in terms of education where you can go educate yourself. You can learn so much about social media. You can learn so much about video editing. You can learn so much more, learn about the digital world. And another thing, Leah is also here to help you now with the business structure. After Swahili port, now Leah comes in and helps you with the business structure. We help you package yourself. We help manage your talent as you focus out there. We help you negotiate for deals and endorsements and so much more. So here are the few things that I feel like as a creator would really help you. Number one is to build your capacity. Just get to be out there, get to learn so much more. Number two, get to the market, expose yourself, meet other people. Like Swahilipot, i.e. Swahilipot has a lot of social events that happens here. So come in, tap in with your youth and learn so much more. Another thing is to use social media strategically. A lot of people use social media just to, scroll TikTok, hours and hours of scrolling, and you guys don't even know that social media can really give you the life that you always dream of. Social media can really get you out there. Third, build your portfolio. Basically, your social media is your CV. So make sure you post yourself out there, package yourself nicely, and then you're good to go. So I'll leave it here. I'll give a chance to the amazing panelists who are also thriving in this digital space. So thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much. Let's clap for her. I'm sure you've had something that, is about you. How many are in the gig economy? How many are being paid because of a skill that they have? How many are being paid for their creativity? Just two. Oh, all right. So I guess we are all in the right session. I want to welcome the panel that will be talking about this topic, which is thought leadership leading the gig economy. I will start with the moderator, that is Mars Masai from Hiva Fund. Tumpige makofi anapokuja. So Mars Masai will be guiding this conversation, and as he comes, I want to welcome the panelists who will be, giving us all the tips, teaching us on what we need to do. We've already started learning, but I know these people will be giving us more information on this topic. I will start with Nehemiah Kabugi, Finance Manager at Hiva Fund. Tafadhali, when I call out their name, you clap for them. These are the people who will teach you what to do to get the life that you've always desired. Yes, next I will be calling Mohammed Khalfan Said, CEO Creative Minds Africa. Where's Mohammed? Thank you. Next is DJ Lemmy. He's a DJ, a producer, a curator, and an investor. I understand that DJ Lemmy will be playing a set later on after this session. He is not from Kenya. So, you guys are in for a surprise. Next person is Zahira. Zahira is a content creator and influencer. Give her for Zahira as she comes. So, Mohammed Khalfan Said is here on. Okay, so I will give the reins to Mas so that he can continue.
Great. Hamjambo. Habari ya jioni. One Wave kama tuko pamoja tafadhali. Asanteni sana. Welcome all. My name is Maz Masai. I am a research manager at a company called Hiva Fund. Show of hands, ni watu wangapi washaisikia hiyo jina Hiva Fund tafadhali? Okay, naona ni wengi hawajui, so acha tueleze kidogo. Hiva Fund is a finance company that's based in Nairobi. Na kazi yetu inakuwa kufanya kazi na wasanii. We work with artists, we support artists in different ways. We give artists grants, we give artists loans, we also design programs for artists. So that is the work we do. Na leo I'm here with a couple of my friends and some panelists, and I'd like to give them a chance to introduce themselves before we dive into the conversation. So tunaweza anza na mwenzangu hapa.
Thank you so much. Hamjambo. As Maz has mentioned, as we were introduced, my name is Nehemiah Kabugi. I work with Hiva Fund as a finance manager. It's a pleasure to be here to share and also learn from fellow panelists. All right. Mnanisikia? Nasema naitwa Nehemiah Kabugi kutoka Hiva Fund. Maz Masai is a colleague, and I'm happy to be here to share and also learn from all of you as well as the panelists. Asante.
Good afternoon. My name is Lemmy. I'm a DJ, event organizer, and curator. I am very much someone who lives off of the gig economy, and it's a pleasure and honor to be here among these panelists.
Assalamu alaikum, hamjambo. My name is Zahira Abdi. I'm a content creator. Wengine wanapenda kusema influencer, but I'm a digital creator. And I'm happy to be here with you. I share whatever I've learned in this 6-7 years. And yeah, I'm hopeful to learn from them as well, and you guys as well. Thank you.
Tuwapigie makofi tafadhali. Asanteni. So before we start, I'd like us to define in our own words what we understand when we hear the gig economy, what that means. I know each and every one of you brings a different kind of expertise to this panel, and you have a different perspective on what the gig panel means for you. So maybe we can start with on the far left. In your opinion, what comes to mind when you think of the gig economy?
Nikifikiria gig, the first thing that comes to mind is inconsistent. In the sense, gig si kama kuwa employed 9 to 5. Venye unaweza kuwa unajua every month kuna pesa ninapata. I hope wote mna understand Kiswahili, si ndio? Mjambo. So which one do you prefer, Kiswahili ama English? English? Both. Okay, sasa nikisema gig, mimi what comes to mind is the fact that si consistent. Siko sure kama nitakula mwezi hii ama nitakula mwezi ijao ama nitalala njaa. So that is what gig translates to me.
Okay, thank you very much, Zahira. Bwana Lemmy, what comes to mind when you think about the word gig economy?
For me, I started off as just a DJ, and so that was like 10 years ago, and for me, a gig literally meant a show. And as I've grown in the gig economy now, I've understood that means a client calling you. When a client calls you, that's the gig. It might not be for a DJ gig, it might not be for the gig you have in mind, but the economy where you're going from client to client and you're managing the different things that come with different clients with their different mood swings. That's the gig economy for me.
Thank you very much. Bwana Nehemiah.
I think for me, I'll probably define or look at it from a financial background, which is my background, and maybe just support what Zahira said, that gig to me sits as irregular or erratic or a bust, in the sense that you have seasons or periods, during the year or during a lifetime or whatever limitation that you'd use to define time to make income, which is either seasonal or it's either huge at some point and then it regularizes later on.
Thank you for that perspective. Salam alaikum, Muhammad.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, karibu sana.
Asante sana. Samahani kwa kuchelewa kidogo.
No worries. Wenzetu tumeshafanya introduction. We had one more panelist and he has finally joined us. So I'll allow you an opportunity to introduce yourself and maybe you can respond to the first question. When you think of the word gig economy, what comes to your mind?
Okay. My name is Mohammed Halfan Said. I'm the CEO of Creative Minds Africa. We come directly from Tanzania to here. We are really happy to be here. And when it comes to gig economy, kwanza ningependelea kuchanganya Kiswahili na Kiingereza kwa sababu kwetu we always mix. Not we mix, we use Kiswahili most of the time, but I'll try my best to mix. Sawa sawa. When it comes to gig economy, what I see is a project based, like photographers, videographers, graphic designers, filmmakers, that they come together and do something.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. As we can see from that definition, gig economy, the words that we're hearing things like inconsistent, We are hearing things like it starts, it stops, and even that expansion. I know we are here to talk about usanii in creative industries, but even other sectors like the tourism sector can largely have that sort of movement of being like a start-stop economy. In some areas, construction. So the gig economy is a broad term. Hatuitumii tu kwa usanii, pia inaweza tumika kwa aina zingine za kazi and other industries. But thank you all for giving me and giving us an understanding of what you think of when you think of the gig economy. And now I'd like us to expand that understanding a bit. All of us have started somewhere. Lemmy, you've talked about when you started, a gig was a show. And now it has largely evolved, and it means a whole lot more to you. So I'd like to know, in the last 5 years, you've been in the festival and event space for a while. How has the gig economy evolved in that space? What are some of the trends that umekuwa ukiona? Kwa wale watu ni wasanii hapa, wanapenda kuperform, DJs, mambo kama hiyo. What are the changes that you've been seeing that you'd like to inform them about? Yeah.
So I'd say in the last 5 years, the biggest thing that happened in the last 5 years was COVID. And COVID changed the way we all do business, the way we all work. Okay, Santi. In my day-to-day life, before COVID, it was very simple. It was a lot easier for people who were searching for a bit of context. I'm an event organizer. That's my main 9 to 5 these days is event organizing, and I provide this as a service as well. So in some cases, I would say consultants are also part of the gig economy. So I do provide the service of event consultation in the gig economy. Before COVID, we existed in this phase where you could kind of get away with not putting yourself out there if you knew the right people, if you could single out the person in the right place that you needed to appease. But I would say in the time since COVID, like the speaker said a bit earlier, social media has become such a powerful tool. And for me, for example, when it comes to looking at the artists I might want to work with in an event, or the DJs I want to book, or even the sound team that I'm thinking of booking, at the end of the day, more often than not, we're going to look at social media. We're going to check, what's this page like? And the way in which you use social media to build your brand, that has been the biggest difference in the last 5 years. I would say the difference between a DJ that has many shows and the DJ I'm not lucky with these mics. The difference between the artist that has many commissions and the one who's always just posting their art online is how they have chosen to build a personal brand that can take advantage of the things like social media, take advantage of all the opportunities that are out there. There are so many opportunities, but it's about how are you positioning yourself to truly take advantage of that.
There's a couple of questions I have about this thing of building a personal brand, because everyone nowadays is told you need to be a brand, and some people don't have the skills perhaps to make themselves into a brand, but we'll get to that at some point. So thank you for bringing that up. Bwana Nehemiah, from a finance perspective, what is shifting as far as the gig economy is concerned? In the last 5 years, what are some of the changes you've been observing?
I feel like there's been a lot of acceptance that gig economy has a huge part to play in the wider economy. And we're now moving from what we term as informal, or what is lacking structure, to now innovating around the reality, which is how can we work with informal ventures. So, and that's one of the things that we're trying to do at Hiva Fund, which is trying to reframe the informality that comes with all these shifts that come with being in a gig economy, and not from a weakness point, but trying to reframe the reality by coming up with innovative products, so that then we are able to then accept that this is a reality that gig economy exists, and it brings in value in terms of work, in terms of products, in terms of value even as cash. So at Hiva Fund, what we're trying to do is come up with financial tools that then accept items such as contracts, digital income, as well as platform data as credible sources of either credit value in terms of if people want to sort financing or investments, are they able to present maybe their M-Pesa statements, that they are able to actually sell items, sell their services, they are able to pay if it's their rent, or rather, has their activities been sustainable from a financial end point of view to an extent that they are able to unlock funds. So that has been interesting over the last 5 years. It's been a learning curve even for us as well. And we feel like the future is indeed creative. Yeah.
Thank you, Nehemiah. Zahira, what have been the shifts?
In 5 years, nimekuja kuona the gig economy only rewards authenticity and consistency. And the main problem, yes, kupata gig ni kazi. But kazi, the biggest issue is getting the brands to come back again. So, unaweza work leo na ata Swahili Pot, but if you do not give them something unique, something authentic, something they don't get everywhere, they'll call you for one time, muta collaborate, you'll get your money, but that's it. So the biggest issue, Mimi, I'll be telling any person who wants to get into content creation, is to just build that relationship and make the brand trust you to come back again. Yeah, that's it.
And now, if we can get a perspective from across the border, ndugu zetu wa Tanzania, how has the scene shifted for you guys? Compare 5 years ago na saizi pali tuko in the gig economy. What are you seeing that is different?
Okay. There's two big differences I've seen. Kwanza, over the last 5 years, we've been seeing, kwanza, let's talk about YouTube. Like watu walikuwa wingi tulikuwa tunasubiri YouTubers kutoka nje wa create contents ili sisi tuweze kuangalia. Lakini over the last 5 years, nowadays tunapata content creators kutokea ndani ya East Africa. We are talking about Tanzania, Kenya and Uganda. You can just go online. Most of the people unaweza kuta wapo YouTube, but they're trying to learn but they don't know the language. Kwa mfano English. Kwa Tanzania, English is not that far, and over these 5 years watu wamekuwa sasa hivi wana uwezo wa kuangalia YouTube kwa mtu ambaye ni local from the areas yeye ambayo yupo. So hiyo imekuwa ni big change. That's we can just call it an online optimization, monetization. And another thing pia imekuwa imesababisha no need of formal employment yani. When I talk that ni kwamba no need kwamba mpaka lazima uende kwenye kampuni ukaajiriwe upewe nafasi ya kazi uwe na certificate and everything. Lakini when you are at gig economy, it's an art. We call it an art ambayo you can just unaweza ukatengeneza account yako, then you brand yourself, then you can just get income, and unaweza ukaanza kufanya kazi kupitia platforms yako. So that's a big change ambayo tumeiona over the last 5 years. Watu walikuwa wanategemea kupata kazi kupitia waende kwenye makampuni, waende kwenye organizations, but nowadays mtu anaweza akatengeneza platform yake na akaweza akafanya biashara na kila mtu.
That's very interesting because nyinyi wote watatu mmesema something very similar. Lemmy ameongea when he's looking for new DJs ataenda kwa social media, angalie how you're performing on your social media, how active you're posting, how you're engaging people. And then Zahira, you mentioned something about making someone come back, because getting the first gig it may not be okay. I'm sure it is also difficult, but getting the second gig is probably even more difficult. And Bwana Muhammad, you've talked about the importance of building and strengthening your platform. Now, hapa kuna watu ambaye some people are shy. Mtu anataka kuwa mwimbaji, mtu anataka kuwa DJ, but they don't want to necessarily put themselves out there in that way. And I want to ask this question very specifically to you, Zahira. First of all, how do you negotiate becoming a public figure? Hiyo ndio kazi yako. Hiyo ndio kenye nakulipa. Being let's say this, being very visible on social media is what will bring in the next client and the next client. Or if I'm wrong, please correct me.
Okay, wait. So ni full-time content creator?
Yes, now as a full-time content creator.
Mwenyewe si full-time content creator.
Okay, but as a content creator, how do you negotiate that? First, building this personal brand to attract more clients, first of all. What are some of the things that you need to sacrifice or some of the things that you need to prepare for as you go into this journey?
Okay, so kama unataka kuanza hii, you should first thing you should know is that embarrassment, hiyo unafaa usahau. You should not be embarrassed. That is the price to pay for you to get to where you want. Kuna watu wanataka kuwa famous. Some people just want to be known, see that much. So, kama utakuwa umedecide, this is the route I want to go with, like nimedecide nataka kuwa content creator. Aibu nyumbani. It's kwa sababu you'll need to simama katikati ya barabara na kamera una rekodi na kichwa in your head you haven't decided that this is what you want to do, then double down, tulia, ulizia. But I tell you that content creation for me it's something I enjoy. Na kama unataka kufanya content creation, it should be like any other business. Unaanza na plan. Unakuchagua niche yako. Because content creator tuko wengi sana. So what would make you stand out? Mbona brandi kupatia wewe na isipatie mtu mwenye ako na 100,000 followers? Ni nini? It's you personally. I remember I went to this Meta conference na tukaambiwa one thing that has stuck to me. That was like I think a year ago. I was told there's a reason why a brand picks you specifically. It's because kuna something you bring to the table that mtu mwingine hawezi leta. So kama unataka kuanza kwa content creator, kama biashara yoyote, ukitaka kufungua mama mboga, huwa unapanga inventory, nitafungua location gani. Same thing na content creation. Unasema sawa, hii ni biashara. What niche am I taking? Na nitakuwa mtu wa kukula, nitakuwa mtu wa kusafiri, nitakuwa mtu wa kupika, nitakuwa mtu wa kuongea, nitakuwa mbea, nitakuwa mwiti. Yani you have to pick what you want to do and what you're good at. Kwa sababu kama biashara wewe ufungue kitu you don't want to do and then you have to make, because consistency. You need to keep posting. So if you choose a career that you'll get tired of, you'll get bored of, see, you won't post. Yeah, and if you don't post, no interaction. No interaction, no gig. No gig, no money. Unalala njaa.
So umetupea umuhimu ya continuously posting. Mimi niko na swali sasa, kama nimelipwa leo na Safaricom and the next time they call me is in 7 months, what do I do in between these 7 months?
Those 7 months no, mimi nilikwambia mimi I've been doing content creation for the past 6 years. Na I would tell anyone, maybe watu wa majuu ama mtu mwenye make it, I would never tell someone to be a full-time content creator. I would never advise that. Like kwa kichwa yako usijeke that this it could be, sikatai it could be, lakini mimi miaka 6 kwa hii biashara na bado sijafika. So because you need multiple chains. Remember hii gig culture. Utapata leo pesa kwa Safaricom, umelipwa 300,000. 300,000 itakusukuma for a while, but when do you think Safaricom will have the next campaign? Not promised. So will you live on that 300k? Ama as a smart person, you'll have multiple sources of income. Kama mimi, a good example is me. I'm a content creator. If someone asks me what do you do, I'll tell them, Assalamu alaikum, my name is Zahira Abdi, I'm a real estate agent, nauza manyumba, na rent manyumba, nafanya Airbnb, haya yo kando. Alafu tena nafanya digital marketing, nafanya brands mingi marketing, kuna ya curtain naifanyia hapo, but then mkuje mnunue curtain. Kuna ya curtain, kuna ya carpet. Unaona, I will not tell someone, oh mini influencer. Influencer inakuanga side hustle yangu, proudly. It's my side hustle. Like ikijipa vizuri, hizi zingine nafunga. Unaona? Sasa siti naitegemea hivyo, iko tu hapo. Sometimes it pays me more than my actual job. Na sometimes sioni hata ndururu. So, ni hivyo, usitegemee 1000%. Have like, mimi, nimewambia ngapi 4? Hello? Nyinyi mnataka kuwa content creator kweli? Nimewambia nafanya kazi ngapi? 4, si ndio? Ndio sasa wewe ukitaka kuwa TikToker peke yake, maybe ujue kuanzia asubuhi alfajiri kusha swali mpaka usiku washinda live. Tap tap the screen, tap tap the screen. Are you ready for that? Wewe. Nadhani kila siku tatumiwa lion.
Aya, na sasa you've given us a bit of your journey. You told us you've been in the game 6 years, sasa miaka 6 sio. I'm sure you've built a good following kwa mitandao, social media, all these things. How then do you start to take advantage of that following that you've built, especially when it comes to negotiating for new contracts? What advice can you give to a content creator on how they can use their following, use their social media metrics, yani following, views, vitu kama hizo, to negotiate better contracts or even earn a living? How do you monetize?
Okay, kwanza ukishafungua account, usha post, umekuwa consistent, you need to have a rate card. Rate card sisemi kama business card ya saloon imesema tu jina yako, social media following, basi hapana. You have to, ni kama invitation ya harusi. Ukitumana invitation, so you just put a lot of thought to it. Ikae smart, at least mtu ajue anakuja harusi ghali. Same thing with your rate card. Hiyo ndio inakuuza. Unaweka sura yako kama you're comfortable, unaweka what you do and followers wako. Alafu when you go for example on Instagram, when you open your main page, you'll find your insights, how many profile visits you've gotten in the month. Those analytics, you screenshot them, put them there. Yani sell yourself the best way possible. Nini ngine umeuliza? Akili ziko mingi. Ni hiyo tu. Yeah.
Tutarudi lakini asante.
Karibu tena.
I want us to move kidogo. Sasa hapo tulikuwa kwa watu wa TikTok, watu wa YouTube and so on and so forth. But as we said, the gig economy ni kubwa. Kuna kazi za aina mingi huko ndani. One of them is in the event space. So I want us to come back to our brother Lemmy. When we talk about events, niko na swali. Watu wangapi wamezoea kuona DJ ambaye ni mwanamke? Kimfano. Aya, wonderful. Watu wangapi wamezoea kuona fundi wa mitambo, yani mtu wa sound ambaye ni mwanamke? Aya, kameramani, watu wangapi wamezoea kuona cameraman ambao ni wanawake? Aya, wonderful. The number is changing. We can see. But Bwana Lemmy, we both know sometimes in the backstage the gig economy inaweza kuwa ni field ya wanaume sana. Inaonekana ni field ya wanaume. You come, you find fundi wa mitambo, wote ni wanaume. You find the DJs sana ni wanaume and so on and so forth. What can you say about this perception, and what do you think is being done to change and bring more women into the space?
That's a great question. I would say the first thing on the organizer's side is an intentional, genuine wish to see that balance. Because unless you have that, it's not going to happen. One of my main clients that I work with happens to be a female-led organization. And our CEO, every time we show her one of our lineups, she's going to ask, is it balanced with gender? To the point where we've now made sure, we make sure it's a point of note for us that that's something that's top of mind. That's on the organizer side, that people have to actually want to do that. I would say on the individual side, for the person who's chasing those gigs, the best way to keep entering those spaces is to stand out and be great at your job. You know, no matter how many gates people try to put between you and that, if you're good at your job, the work speaks for itself. I was recently at a conference in Nairobi organized by a company called Santuri, and the whole point of that conference was kind of similar to what we're doing here, but focused just on the artists specifically. And we had a number of panel discussions where we brought up this conversation, and the thing that stood out consistently among all the ladies who are working at the heights of their fields in male-dominated fields in the gig economy, from sound engineers to lighting engineers to even DJs, is they're good at their job, and they make sure that, because the reality is society unfortunately has created these structures and we are learning, it's getting better slowly but surely, but the easiest way is to stand out and just be good at your job. The more we take time to develop ourselves at our skills, the more we stand out, and it always shows when those opportunities come to show it. It will always cut through the noise.
So Zahira has given us examples of what this standing out and packaging can look like in the TikTok, YouTube space, content creator space. As a DJ, when we tell people you need to stand out, first of all, I can say, when I ask the question, in the last 5 years, what has changed? I can say for now, sure, there are very many more DJs than I knew 5 years ago. DJ wamekuwa wengi. How do you even remain competitive in such an environment? How do you stand out? How do you catch the attention of a festival? What are some few tips?
I would speak not just to DJs, but musicians, DJs, dancers, anyone in the music space especially. I'd say the first thing is professionalism. I know the gig economy, one of the things we like, we're not in the office. However, the habits of the office are what make you stand out in the gig economy. If you're good at sending your invoices on time, if you're good at corporate lingo and actually responding to emails, if you're able to keep up with the corporate jargon, those are the things that make people want to come back to you. When you can showcase that I am a professional, I take what I do seriously, no matter what it is, whether you're a DJ, whether you're a painter, provided you show your clients that I take this work seriously. I think that's one of the most important things. And then it now comes to what Zahira mentioned, your consistency. Because the truth is, no one is going to start at the top. So the first gigs are not going to be the best gigs. But are you willing to stay consistent when those gigs are the ones that are coming? Are you willing to keep maintaining that professionalism, even when you're like, these guys should be paying me ×5 what they're paying me, you know? Because those are realities you face in the gig economy. When
the crowd is 5 people.
Even when the crowd is 2 people, or when it's just you and the staff. Those are realities that almost every DJ that is playing those huge shows, any artist that is performing at Blankets and Wine, they can all tell you about when they were performing for just their friends, you know? Are you willing to stay consistent and keep doing what you're doing when it's not cool to be doing it? I would also talk on being realistic with yourself. Zahira mentioned making rate cards. This is a very important thing. But as someone who, I work both in Nairobi and in the coast, so often I find people inflate these rate cards to far more than they should be able to command at that point in their career. It's really important as a creative, because this also shows your level of professionalism, that you're able to understand where you are in your career and where that relates to where the entire industry is. For example, if you've just started DJing, yes, you might want to get 50K for a show, but there's almost like a corporate ladder you have to climb within the gig economy in building your brand, in building your name, in building your reputation, and it cuts across. Like I said earlier, for me these days, my main work is event organizing, and I consider myself, that's my main hustle. Like Zahira said again, DJing for me is a side gig, and I hardly introduce myself as a DJ first, because you need to be able to have those structures. I feel like it's very important to appreciate that the gig economy can be so ruthless. It can be ruthless without you doing anything wrong. I remember the first time I realized how ruthless it was March 2020. I had been DJing for about 3 years, and I thought I was on a come up. I was really about to start exploding, and then COVID happened. I didn't get a booking for almost a year. By the time things started happening again, people had forgotten who I was. I had to genuinely start my brand again. You have to appreciate the gig economy can be very ruthless. There's so much we do not control. And so being realistic with yourself on what the environment, where the environment is, where the industry is at, where you have reached compared to the industry, these are the things, that's another thing that will help just set you apart. And then lastly, like I had said earlier, is the branding. Your personal brand is everything. No matter what industry it is, if you're in the gig economy, your personal brand is the thing that's going to differentiate you from the person who has the exact same qualifications as you. It's down to who is this person, who are we working with, what do they bring to the table as this person. I would say that's across board. If you have those things intact, those 4 areas, that's your professionalism, your branding, your consistency, and through all that, being realistic with yourself, where you are within the industry, I think you'll find it's easy to cut through the noise, and more people begin to notice you, whatever your industry is. I genuinely believe that. People will begin to notice you and call you more and more for that work.
Wonderful. Now we've heard from some tips from Zahira on how to build a sustainable income. You have to have a side hustle. You have to plan ahead. We've heard about Lemmy, the benefits of professionalism and all these things. So now we assume someone has listened to this advice, amefanya hizo vitu zote, and then amekuja kwako Bwana Nehemiah, and they want a loan or they want a grant. What are some of the things that you are looking for there?
I think just to top up what Zahira and Lenny has said, first thing we look at is consistency. We want to see that you have consistently, or you've been working on this thing to better it and to have it market ready, to an extent that you've also tested the market to see that this is something that is acceptable by the audience or by the market that you're targeting.
So let me just stop you. When you say consistency there, you mean and the market. So you actually go to this person's page, kuangalia how often they post and how many people they are reaching. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, so that's one of the metrics that we will look at. We will look at your interaction, how people are interacting with your product, what kind of feedback do you give your clients, suppliers. Again, I guess this whole thing circles back to professionalism. What's your interaction? If we were to seek a recommendation letter from maybe a client or a supplier or a donor you've worked with, what can they say about you? So that's a kind of the consistency that we're looking at. We're also looking at data-backed performance. So in as much as we are reframing informality, we want to ensure that whatever it is that you're backing this particular product or service has data rather backing it. So are we able to see that indeed you are able to sell a merchandise or a commodity? Are you able to introduce a service and sell a service to a clientele? Is it able to generate revenue? And this is for the whole purpose of do you have the capacity to either repay a loan or even be sustainable moving forward? Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. We are almost about to start bringing the panel to a close, but before we do, I'd like to engage our brother from across the border a bit more. We've had a lot of perspectives from the Kenyan side about the gig economy and how it's moving and how it's shifting here. I'd like to ask you, what has been the biggest challenge you've noticed in the gig economy in Tanzania? And if you've interacted with both sides, Kenya and Tanzania, what would be the biggest differences that you're seeing?
Okay. Regarding to that, the biggest challenge that I've seen in the gig economy, especially, I'm not only a CEO, but I'm also a filmmaker, a content creator, a photographer, a videographer. You can't get into this business if you don't know what you're doing. So I've been doing this for 7 years now, and I start this journey very early. So most and the biggest challenge that we are facing as filmmakers and content creators and other people in the gig, it's equipment. That's one of our big challenge. Equipments are very expensive. when it comes to equipment, it comes to cameras, it comes to drones and all those. You know, yesterday we came here and our drone gets into the water. So that's another challenge that we are facing. And to solve this challenge is to value yourself. That is one of the things. Like, you know, you can just do the project by free. Like, you can just charge someone free. You can just tell someone, no, I can just do this project free at the beginning to show up your work and what you're doing. That's a good thing, and it will raise you up. But you can just, and kitu chingine unaweza ukawa pia unapewa kazi, you just do it for a cheap price. Hiyo ukifanya for a cheap price is a good thing, lakini kuna kitu kinaitwa diversifying, like you are trying to change your customers ili uweze kupata pesa zaidi, kwa sababu mtu akikuona uko cheap na unafanya kazi nzuri, watakupa kazi nyingi, watakupa kazi, utajikuta you have load of work, alafu hauoni impact. So hauwezi kununua any new equipment, and we all know equipments are very expensive. So one of my advice ni kuweza kuchange your market. Kuna muda unakwenda, me I start the journey, I'm not only a CEO but I'm also a leader. Yani I don't react in my company as a CEO, I react in my company as a leader. So I know the challenges that we are facing. We are going step by step together. Like tunafanya hiki. Ninakuwa ninaona zile problems ambazo tunakuwa tunazipitia. So through that problems tunakuwa tunajaribu kuangalia namna gani we are changing the market. Kwa sababu uki-end up huku chini, you will never grow to the top. Kwa sababu unaambiwa you need to buy a camera. Sorry, nikianza kutaja pesa za Kitanzania kidogo zitakuwa ni changamoto. Yeah. Nisitaje. So ukianza kutaja the price, utaambua kamera moja ni labda 2.5 million. 2.5 divide by 20, guys. You have to divide it by 20. Ndio pesa ya Kenya. So ni 2.5 labda for a camera ambayo in a good standard. So you can't buy that camera for when you are working with the very low labda paying persons ambao wanakulipa kwa pesa ndogo. So unakwenda at a time, sasa you have to change that. Lakini ili pia uweze kuchange hiyo kitu, you need to naweza nikasema kuboresha kazi yako, kwa sababu sawa unataka kufanya kazi na watu waliokuwa juu zaidi, alafu your quality is still low, that is still a problem. So in a mode of changing, pia you have to look at that thing. Unataka kuchange kwenda kwenye standard kubwa zaidi, kwa sababu I don't believe the equipment will give you the best result. No. The thing that will give you the best result is your skills and knowledge. So at a time unaweza kuwa unatumia kifaa cha bei rahisi, lakini if you build up your skills and knowledge, unaweza ukaanza kufanya kazi bora zaidi, then unaweza ukaanza kutafuta client ambao they can pay you ambayo hiyo price ambayo wewe unahitaji, and then ukaweza kugrow, ukaweza kununua hivyo vifaa ambavyo wewe unahitaji. That's from my side.
Thank you. I want to start to bring the panel to a close, but I have a question, one last question for each and every one of you. Unatembea kwa barabara, umepatana na mzee, mzee amekuambia yeye ni magician, he can grant you one wish for the gig economy. Bwana Nehemiah, what would that one wish be?
I think my wishes would be sustainability for the gig economy.
Okay.
And my thinking is we've really struggled to place, or rather in the past the sector has always been placed in bits and pieces in every other sector. Utapata bits of it around entertainment is placed either as a service for the tourism sector. Kama unafanya fashion, unapata you're thrown into manufacturing. Kama unafanya cuisines and everything, you're thrown into the hospitality industry. But I feel like if the sector was sustainable on its own, to an extent that from as a value chain, from the production point to the output, and that we are able to do it self-sustainingly, then I feel like we have so much potential to create jobs, dignified jobs for young men and young women, to give people an opportunity to also communicate, because then I feel like this is one industry that communicate, even matters mental health, matters political stands, family issues. It's a whole blend of so many things. So in an extent, if we are able to have that kind of support or magic that we are now able to sustain this whole thing internally, then that is what I would go for.
Okay. Thank you very much. Bwana Lemi, you have been given one wish.
I'm assuming that wish, the the people I'm wishing that for, they're doing all the other things that we've talked about.
Sure.
My wish would just that people have the confidence to start their ideas. I think more than ever, there's so much room for whatever obscure thing you think no one else in the world is interested in. There's at least almost 1 million people that are actually very interested in that, And if you're willing to put yourself out there, be consistent, and just wait for your community to form around you, you'd be very shocked with the results. So my wish would be, may everyone just have the confidence to start.
Thank you, Lemi. Bwana Muhammad, what would be your wish?
Naona ameongea point hapo nilikuwa nataka kuongea. But okay, no problem. I can just add from that. Kitu kikubwa yani just to have a consistency. Mimi napenda kutumia neno la just do it. Ile just do is Nike, so just keep it in mind kwamba just keep doing it. Because I can't say in 7 years of my experience kwamba I was better all that time. I start doing it slowly. Then kila baada ya challenges, kila baada ya kukutana na mtu mpya, kila baada ya kufanya kitu kipya, inanipelekea I learn what to do next. Na hiyo kitu cha learn what to do next, you have to keep note, because if you're not going to keep it, you're going to lose it. Yani umeona kabisa kuna kitu ambacho umefeli into this session, alafu you just say like maybe just forget about it. Yani you just keep it away. You will never know it. You have to keep it and keep learning it slowly mpaka una reach.
Thank you very much. Last but not least, Zahira, what would be your one wish?
Niko na wishes mingi.
Sawa, tutakupea tatu.
Okay. My first wish itakuwa, I wish that the gig economy could pay more on the creativity than the numbers or the clicks or the views. Like unaweza pata video mtu has put so much thought, so much effort, you can see, but hapana unaambiwa haijafika enough engagements, it's not doing well. You get me? So I wish they would just reward more on on creativity. Another thing is I wish for everyone who's a content creator, all they get are like long-term partnerships. Partnership ya mwaka mzima. You're not unasema maybe next year ndo nitafute kazi. This year I'm good. I wish that for every content creator. I'll have to just echo what the two gentlemen said. And start now. Like najua hapa kuna mtu anangoja kuwe na iPhone ndiye aanze kukua content creator. Ni mko wengi nawajua.
Anze na Infinix.
Najua. Do you guys know of Dante? Amujui Dante? Dante yule mwenye kamera yake iko na mafuta. Mnamjua, si ndio? Asa Dante is this guy mwenye kamera yake inakanga kama amepaka mafuta kila siku. You cannot even see the guy's face, but the guy makes content and his content has engagement. So wewe mwenye unasema lazima iPhone 17 Pro Max 1 TB storage new imetoka Dubai, start now. Anza na whatever you have, hata your iTel. Kama mja notice pia, sometimes low quality videos do even better than high quality videos. So start now with whatever gadget yuko nayo, hata kama ni katululu, anza nayo. Basi nitawafollow.
I want to
say, I swear kama uko na page niambie nikufollow. I will follow back. Wapi, Instagram ama TikTok? Unanijua? Sasa. Okay, jina yangu ya TikTok ni 012 alafu weke Z. Like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, lakini zote zikuwe zeros. So 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 Z2. A story behind that is when I started TikTok. Unakumbuka wakati TikTok ilianza 2020, it used to have like a bad reputation. Watu wanafanya vitu chafu on TikTok. Unakumbuka hizo time? Watu wanauza vitu kwa TikTok. That time ndo nilikuwa nimeingia, and my parents were so against me posting on TikTok. So I used that zero mingi so that my parents never find me on TikTok. And then one day I went viral, alafu my dad forwarded me the video. Akaniambia, huyo ni nani? So yeah. Story ilianza wapi?
Ulitueleza journey yako into TikTok, but you are telling us about your wishes. Na ukapromise watu utawafollow wakikufollow.
Yes, mkinifollow saizi ni sangapi? Kwanzia 7:12 TikTok yangu mwenye atakuwa amenifollow, I will follow back.
Wonderful.
And all the best guys. Nawaombea Mungu hapa mpaka 6. Naombea Mungu wote.
Yeah.
You grow and become big na mupate brand deals after brand deals. Amseme amin basi.
Amen. Nyi wote you're better than me. Mimi nikipatana na mzee aniambie yeye ni mchawi, mimi napinduka na kimbia. But nyinyi wote mmenipea wishes zenyu. Thank you very much. I want to take a few questions from the audience.
Yeah, we'll take 3 questions from the audience. So, first, there's a hand over there in the middle. Yeah, the gentleman. Tafadhali simama. I want to take 2 more. Yes, Esha in the front, and the last one. The neighbor. Please stand up. Tafadhali simama so that the mic can come to you after him. Sawa.
Yo guys, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
I hope everybody's doing okay. So thank you for the tips, the knowledge that we gain. My question is that I'm a content creator. I'm a singer, in fact, and I understand I understand everything you're talking about regarding the consistency and everything. I was afraid my song. I was really afraid to even post my first song on TikTok, by the way. And the moment I did, and I started things going viral, and now I got almost 1 million views on my page. So regarding the payment stuff, that was my question regarding, especially now here in Kenya, regarding the artist, you know. Like for example, now I post my song on YouTube, yeah, and then I use DistroKid for my distribution on Spotify and stuff. Do you guys, like you said, you guys were giving loans and stuff? Oh, the content creators in Kenya, you guys come up with a way. For example, let's say, I do nasheed, yeah, Muslim gospel is short. You get what I'm saying? And then we have a company like, for example, those people who follow Mahar Zain, Haris J and stuff. They have Awakening Records, yeah. They have a platform whereby their songs are posted at one page, and it has post and like distributed all over. They get more fans, they get more followers through that. Do we have that system in Kenya where you guys can support artists through your platforms? You know, like sometimes when I put at this company, like the marketing teams, they be like, we can push for your songs, give us the job. And you look at their page, somebody has 2,000, you're like, how can this help me reach out? You see those types of company. Now that's my question now. Do you guys also do that? Or it's just in terms of lending out the loans and stuff? And can we also come up with, like Princess Aya, yeah? Can you guys come up with all the artists, for example, in Mombasa, in Nairobi, come up together, open one main brand that could be now a source of even the youngest creators that are coming, they can get a push-up, and then their contents and the stuff can really go out there and it become more easy.
Thank you. I think we'll take all the questions alafu tuta respond. Ni sawa? What was the second one?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Yeah, my name is Yusuf Salim. I'm a content creator, I'm an actor, I'm a production designer. My question is, like vile amesema content creation, si ndio? Hapo kwenye content creation unapata like mtu anaanza TikTok vizuri, then ana come up ana stop, si ndio? Like unaweza post video, like kama mimi naweza post video iende viral, moja iende kama 6,000, 10, 20, sometimes even 100,000. Then next time I post 400, 300, then ikawa ina chip. How do you yani mna sustain vipi hapo juu hiyo isishuke ipande tu hivi? Then second thing ni that apart from content creation, si ndio, kuna ma actor wa theaters. You see, like there's a big difference kutoka kwa like as ndasema ta theater, they are good in acting, si ndio? Unapata unazangala show yao they are more, but mtu unasikia like amechukuliwa mtu mwingine, umeenda kwa nitoaje, umeenda kutafuta kazi ya film, sasa amesema wewe jamani wa film, ufika hapo kwenye film tunakuwa kambi tunabaguliwa kwa sababu ya page hizi content creation. So like mtu anaangalia following ya mtu, inaangaliwa following yake ni ile following yake iko juu, yako iko chini, but the quality you una produce as an actor in theater is more than the person ulambia more. So hapo mnaweza tuseme vipi?
Asante.
There was
yeah, there was a lady.
How over there?
Thank you so much. I'm Miss Noni. I'm Umi Sadiq. Okay, hi everyone.
Hello.
Hi once again.
Hello.
I am Umi Sadiq. I support the Culture and Heritage Department of Swahili Port Hub Foundation. I'm not standing here as a content creator. I don't know no. But my question goes to the lady in the house. I'm proud of you because sitting in a panel of almost 5 people and you're the only lady sees how women were being represented in the space. Women power. Women power. Thank you. So my question goes to you. What really inspired you to be in the space? And why I'm asking you is this. In our society and where we come from, people think that women, not only long time ago, but until now, because we can also see the challenges in TikTok. Most people think that content, being an influencer, is supposed to be a man. Yeah? Ukiamua kufanya kama mwanamke wa Kiislamu, everyone will be against it. Why am I saying this? We have this case of Aziad. All of us, we know Aziad. And the late Brian Chira. Yeah? Aziad was bullied to an extent that kesi yake ilibidi pelekwe kotini ili apate justice from what people have been doing against her. Yeah? Until Brian died. I'm not accusing like Aziad did that, no. But I'm really interested to know what inspired you to be in the space and which kind of content are you doing, because it may help somebody. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Wonderful.
All right. I think we have more interest that I thought that we'll get.
Noni.
So you have a question?
Yes, I have a question.
A very short one.
A very short.
Okay.
Yeah, hello guys, my name is DJ Kams. I'm a DJ here at Swahili Port Hub Foundation.
Yeah.
Swahili Port FM.
Question, very fast. Oh, Mike. Okay, as we wait for the mic, you have a question.
Yo, vipi jamaa? Mko fiti? Mambo? Government inanitambua kama Quincy Bilal, lakini umati shamwamini King.
God damn it.
Government inanitambua kama Quincy Bilal, lakini umati shamwamini King.
God damn it.
Yes, my question is nyote mtanjibu vitofauti. Who do you take advice from? Manake mwingine atajiona star, haezi chukua advice kutoka kwa uncle yake, brother yake, ndugu yake ama mtu wa karibu. Atatafuta mtu wa mbali, na labda ndugu yake ni smarter kumshinda, hata kubali sababu ashakuwa star. who do you take advices from? And what's the importance of a team? Santeni.
Yeah, check. Niaje kufiti. Mi swali tumongelelea content creation, tumongelelea event management. My question is, apart from getting money, apart from earning from brands, ama watu wenye wamekuletea gig, how do social media make you have money? How do social media pay you? Do shida ya watu wengi tunataka kuingia kwa hiyo space ku make dough. So how do that social media pay you? Apart from brands, how do social media pay you? How do you make money from social media?
All right, thank you. And I will read the last question from somebody who has, I think this question should go direct to DJ Lemmy, and we are going to be saying why later on. As a manager supporting a talented independent musician, what partnerships or programs can help me or other artists access bigger stage or streaming platforms or even cultural festivals? I repeat. Wow, okay. As a manager supporting a talented independent musician, what partnerships or programs can help me or the artist access bigger stages, e.g. streaming platforms or cultural festivals? Okay, now back to you.
Wonderful. Those are very good questions. Please clap for yourselves, tafadhali. Wonderful questions. I will save the best for last. I would really like to hear Zahira's response to you as the closing remarks for this panel, so we'll save that for last. The questions are many. I don't even know how we can begin to tackle them. But let me first start with this question of how does Hiva work with content creators? What are some of the things that Hiva is doing? What can we do, and what are we planning to do in the future? So, if you guys are content creators, watu wangapi washaisikia platform inaitwa Wowzi? Wowzi, W-O-W-Z-I. Who has heard of Wowzi? Okay, who is a content creator and has not heard of Wowzi? Tafadhali, please, don't be shy. Tafadhali, I will encourage all of you to sign up first and foremost. Just Google Wowzi first and foremost, and then you see what they have to offer. So, what is the problem that Hiva identified for content creators, and how are we solving it? Ile kitu sisi tuliona ni, if you are a content creator and you do a job for a corporate, maybe Zahira can tell us. Let's say the corporate is called Speakers of Kenya. They've given you a job. They say, we want you to market our brand. You market they tell you want 5 social media videos, 10 Instagram posts. You say, okay. You deliver. Then you tell them, I've done the job. Where's my money? They tell you, you have to wait for about 3 or 4 or 5 months for sijui who to come back from which country, so that they can come and sign the check and then give it to this other guy, who will then drive to the bank and give it to this other person who will, and then you'll get your money eventually. That is usually the kind of story that we are used to hearing. So what we are doing with Wowzi is, when you do a job for a brand and you've submitted your work and you finished, you can choose to be paid immediately you've submitted your work. And then Wowzi is left to kimbizana with the Speakers of Kenya for your payment. Wewe ukimaliza kazi unalipwa saa hizo. Immediately umesubmit, you're paid immediately. What do we think that is solving? That is solving, first of all, the problem of morale. Because I'm sure, Zaira, you can tell us, hiyo mambo ya kufanya kazi leo unalipwa in 5 months, it is very bad for your morale. You don't want to do another gig, you don't want to do another gig. So what we are trying to solve is, we want you to be able to move from one gig to another gig quickly, and also get your money on time. So as we will take the burden of, we will pay you directly from our own money, then sisi tuende tukimbizane na Speakers of Kenya, paka ile siku watatulipa, and then tumemalizana. So that is one way that we are working with, particularly the content creator space. Now, watu wengine kama musicians, filmmakers, all these other people, you might ask, how are we working with you? Tukona a lot of partners who are doing training, even here in Mombasa. How many have heard of Baraza Media Lab? Show of hands. Yes. Aya, tafadhali tafuta ule mtu ameinua mkono, amesema amesikia juu ya Baraza, muulize Baraza Media Lab ni nini na wanafanya kazi gani. So we are working with them to train artists how to market themselves better, how to brand themselves better, how to record music better, make videos better, and so on and so forth. So that is how we are working. To the gentleman who asked, how are we helping people put themselves out there? That is one of the ways that we are doing it. Now, there was a question on how do you sustain your views? You've done one thing, you are at 6,000, you do another thing, you're at 400. For me, it is a question of morale as well, because leo uko juu, kesho, no one wants to. So I'm being told to be conscious of time. So there's some questions we may not answer, but I want us to answer at least two very important questions here that have been asked in terms of closing remarks. Who do you take advice from? And what is the importance of a team? Tuanze nawe Bwana Muhammad.
Okay. When we come to the importance of team working, kwanza, I start the journey by myself. Let's start from there. I was a person with a vision of owning a production company, and I don't know who to work with. Nili struggle. Kuna jamaa mmoja alikuwa anaitwa Director X. He's from Dar es Salaam. Yeye ni director mkubwa sana. There was a day nilipata nafasi ya kumuona, nikapiga naye story. So one of my quick question was that I need to own a company, lakini I don't know how to create a teamwork. Nitafanya vipi ili niweze kupata team working ambayo tutafanya kazi kwa pamoja na tutakuwa kwa pamoja. So one of his advices was kwanza anza kufanya wewe. Unajua mwanzo huwezi kumwambia mtu let's do work together alafu haoni impact yote, haoni kitu chochote unafanya. So kwanza aliniambia anza wewe fanya, ukishakuwa unafanya watu watakuja because they see you are doing. So that is number one. Number two, ili uweze kusustain the team working, kwanza you need two things very important. Me, I work as a leader and I work as a professional creative, any creative person like a filmmaker and others. So the most important key points I used ni motivate and facilitate. Hizo ni nadhani we have a lot of youth over here and we have to keep it. You have to motivate and facilitate. Nikisema kumotivate and kufacilitate, I think imesha make sense. Like a person kwenye team working, mtu atakwambia no, mimi siwezi kufika hapo kwenye kazi because sina 100 ya kuja hapo. Try to facilitate if you have it, ili aweze kujoin to your part. And another thing of motivation, you have to keep motivating them. One day we are going to reach where we plan. And without reaching where you plan, you need to have a strategy ili wajue kwamba there is the vision ambayo sisi tunaendea. So if unanimotivate without having a vision, that is another case. Unanimotivate tuende wapi? So unawajaribu kutengeneza a team working ambayo inaona maono yako kwamba as a company in 3 years we want to be here. So you motivate them and you facilitate them ili muweze kufika pale kwenye yale malengo.
Because of time, mtaniruhusu hatutaweza kusikia from our brothers, but I want Zahira to get the closing remarks. You've been asked a very deep question. I think the question was what made you start? Na nini ndio ilikumotivate?
Hiyo ndio ilikuwa swali kweli. Hakuniuliza kama Muislamu. Kindly.
As a Muslim woman, what made you start in this space?
Okay, so let me make it fast. Fast forward, Mimi, I was in Ushago. I was bored out of my mind. And then I just put the camera somewhere and I started recording at Ushago kwetu na shamba. Kuna ngombe, kuna nini. So I went and then I just started recording my day in a life, and then I edited it on CapCut, posted it, and people were like, oh my God, where is this place? Wafanya nini, nini, nini. Alafu I did pro, I was speaking like foreign language. So ni Kijaluo, but so unaona ilikuwa entertaining, and then from that day I just started making content. As a Muslim lady, it's so hard because one, kuna modesty, in the sense we are already taught you're supposed to jifiche. Kuna vitu kama aura, kuna vitu kama you should have haya, ufai kuwa mbele ya watu, waongeongea mbele ya watu, you shouldn't raise your voice. You see, there's so many limitations. But what I decided, what I came towards the conclusion is, if, for example, dressed like this, I could pray, I could go in front of God like this, binadamu ananishtua kwa nini? So I was like, as long as I know, mimi natafuta nini TikTok? I'm not going to do thirst traps. Siendi kutafuta mume. Mi naenda kutafuta pesa. And I'm looking for money in a halal way. I'm doing it in a legitimate way. I'm not stealing from someone. I'm not stepping on someone to get to where sinafanya kazi yangu vizuri sana. And motivation ingine ni, know yourself. Wewe kama uko comfortable bila mtandio, do what you gotta do. If you're comfortable na mtandio, do it. And let not your religion limit you. Hakuna mahali kwa dini imesema usitafute pesa kihalali. You just have to know the things that are allowed in your religion and the things that are not allowed. And if you're getting it the legitimate way, then why not? So I hope tutakuwa Waislamu mingi kwa hii content. Because, by the way, there's a girl I follow. I've been following her for 5 years, and can you believe I don't know how she looks like? Like, there's so many ways. Unaona venye nawaambia ni kuwa creative. You could post content without people knowing who you are. A good example is Marshmallow. Kuna mwenye anajua sura yake. He's a DJ, right? But he hid his face. There's some people who take pictures from the back. You never see their face. They're like blurring effects that help you hide the face. So if you feel like you're not comfortable with that, tafuta creative way. Remember, in this field, it's saturated and you want to stand out. And how will you stand out? Being very unique. Do your thing. Sawa? Inshallah khair. Hi, thank you.
For those closing remarks, Zahira Erokamano.
Hi, Erokamano. Ritia.
Aya, asanteni, thank you very much. Please, makofi for the panel. And makofi for yourselves. Asanteni pia.
Thank you so much, Mas Masai. Mas Masai is from Hiva Fund. Asante sana. So I want you guys to take a group photo for this session. I know my comms team is ready. Yes, you guys will take a photo. As they take a photo, tafadhali tuwapigie makofi. Let's clap for Nehemiah Kabugi, Muhammad Khalfan, DJ Lemmy, and Zahira. Now, there was a lady who was on stage, the one who gave us a keynote speech. Do you remember her? Yes, so if you want anything to do with you being managed, you branding, all that, make sure that you talk to her. She is from Leia Agency. Speak to her. She'll guide you. I'm speaking on behalf of the gentleman who asked the first question, okay? Make sure you see Shuklis. Now, moving on. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, just also to say, if you'd like to know more about Hiva Fund, from tomorrow, we have a booth pale. Tafadhali tutembelea. Asanteni.
Thank you. Tupigie makofi tena. Talking about gigs, DJ Lemmy is the curator of Beneath the Baobab Festival. How many know the festival? Yeah, I hope you guys will be networking after this, okay? Yeah, so we've come to the end of this session. Clap for yourselves for being such an amazing audience. Clap for those who asked questions. Clap for those who have questions and didn't get answers. Yes, make sure you go see the panelists after this. They're going to be answering all your questions. Now, tumechelewa. We're supposed to start with Konga za Utamaduni. How many are ready for that? Konga za Utamaduni? Yes, but before we get to Konga za Utamaduni, we have a set from DJ Lemmy. So make sure that you have your dancing shoes on. I know mine don't look very, 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 very dancey, but don't worry, we'll be dancing. All right, so DJ Lemmy, is he ready? Bado kidogo, si ndio? Bado kidogo? Yes, so tuongee kuhusu kenye kitakuwa kinakuja ndani ya Konga za Tamaduni. Nikitaja wenye watakuwa na perform, tunapiga kelele, sawa? Tunapiga kelele, si ndio? So we will have Zungurima. Zungurima. We'll also have Zani Rani on stage. We will have VSLA. Tukona Orutu. We also have a team of storytellers. And last but not least, we have Creative Arts 254. All right, we also have rappers who will be coming on stage. Give it up for the rappers who will be gracing this stage. Apart from that, there is a gentleman here who came and talked about Truly Kenya. How many have downloaded the app? How many? Yes, make sure that you download the app. There are a lot of opportunities to earn in there. And if you need help with anything to do with Truly Kenya app, I know they have a booth right there. So this time, wangapi wameingia kwa app, wameactivate kila kitu? How many? I want to see hands. I want to see hands. How many have not downloaded the app? Wangapi? Make sure you download the app. Leo bana. What are you waiting for? Utaki pesa? Utaki pesa? Yes, so we are ready for DJ Lemmy. DJ Lemmy? Give it up for DJ Lemmy, everybody. Oh, nimeambua tungoje kidogo tungoje. So, do we have some DJ on site who can? Yes, DJ. We have, who's? Okay, sawa. Let's dance kidogo, sweep them up kidogo tukingojea DJ Lemmy.
Swahili Books 91.7 FM Mombasa.
Unafikiri